refused to watch other kids even though I'm a nanny.
Those kids suck.
I, 56 female, have been a nanny to a couple. We'll call them Jenna, 29 female, and Mitchell, 32 male, for a few years now. They've been great people, and I also like the pay since they're fairly wealthy. They give me a big sum, and I also love their kids. They have a boy 4 and a girl 5 who are really sweet, and I look forward to seeing them. By the way, this comes from Nanny on the Loose. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/showcase storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We wish we did, but we're just a bunch of goofballs. We only know what we would do, so if you would do something else, why don't you just let us know in the comments? On to the problem. Jenna and Mitchell decided to host a party at a restaurant they live close to. No problem for me, and I'll watch their kids like usual while they have their fun. They're giving me the rundown on things like the usual, but then something odd, they said, and make sure the kids are ready to be picked up by 9:30 p.m. I thought this was strange, but decided to push it to the back of my mind as they never said previously anything about any other kids, and only said that one statement. Maybe it was just a slip-up. About 20 minutes go by, and Mitchell and Jenna's friends come over to pick them up. I'm assuming. So I go over to meet their friends, and their friends brought all their kids for me to babysit.
Whoa.
There was at least 7 kids I saw. I pulled Jenna aside and asked her why their friends expected me to babysit their kids and to just get someone else to babysit them, as I only agreed to babysit her kids. She seemed taken aback and said she thought I wouldn't mind since I don't do anything else with my time anyways.
Whoa.
My husband has passed away 11 years ago, so I'm always by myself at home now. Which was true, but this was never part of the agreement. Apparently, all her friends were busy and couldn't come to the party because of their kids. And to save money and time, Jenna just offered to dump all their kids at her place for me to watch. I got angry and said unless she's willing to pay me 7 times the amount of money she pays me now, there's no way I'm watching 9 kids for the amount of time that they're gone, which is 8 hours, and that I wouldn't be able to handle it. Her face changed from confused to frustrated and said I should be lucky I'm their nanny at all with the amount of money I'm paid, and to be grateful and do this one thing. As it's just one night, she just wants to treat her friends to a nice dinner. No!
Wow. I would, oh my goodness, I would quit. I'd be like, hey, sorry, no.
And you knew what you were doing because you didn't discuss this with me at all. Do you really not understand that?
Yeah, it is really hard,
I'm not an entire daycare?
Yeah, it is really hard, though, in, like, the nanny and babysitting industry. Quit because you want to end on good terms with everyone. Because it is so word of mouth.
Well, yeah, and you're getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah,
and
so
these
that
people
is
are
hard.
Definitely the kind of people who would go, yeah, she's terrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
After doing everything perfectly fine forever.
Yeah.
I was shocked and didn't say anything else and just left their house. Mitchell later called me, cussing me out and saying how I humiliated them and embarrassed them with my actions and how they had to cancel everything last minute because of everyone's kids, and I was a selfish, stuck-up, lazy witch for not doing this one-time thing. I didn't say anything the whole way through until he was done talking and just hung up, and now I'm really wondering if I messed up here. I really liked their kids, and they were great people before this incident. Am I the a-hole? I mean, like,
literally
no,
not at all.
Of course not. I think you're just now worried, like, did I lose my moneymaker?
Which
and
is,
yeah,
you
but
might,
like,
yeah, I think you might have.
Working, this is... If you had done this, I don't think it would ever stop.
Exactly. That's the thing. If you had shown them that they could like just throw 7 kids on you, no extra pay, this would not have been a one-time thing.
We do have some comments from Slope Z 604, not the a-hole. It's just business. You're following an established contract. If they didn't want to be embarrassed, they should have contacted you prior to renegotiate. And by the sound of it, they don't pay you enough to turn a blind eye to this once in order to just retain the job. Failure to plan on your part does not constitute an emergency on mine. Julia X, 1984, says, this was no failure of planning. They deliberately lied by omission to try to blindside her into accepting 4.5 times as much work without extra pay. Of course not the a-hole. Those were not the terms you agreed to, and they know it. OP replies, yes, and they didn't say anything about hosting a party until that day. So they already set up everything prior to talking to me about babysitting their kids. My guess is they wanted to already be too far into it and didn't tell me about anything, so it would be too late for me to back out. Unfortunately for them, I have 2 legs and I can walk myself out of their lives. SJ Barbarian says they see her as an appliance, not a person. The child watching machine is acting like it has rights. OP replies, I didn't even think of it like that. Good point. Wealthy people do have a history of taking advantage of others. I'm so confused. This is a party at a restaurant that lasts 8 hours. Then it ends before 9:30 p.m. So it starts at 2 p.m. And then they had to cancel everything because you wouldn't babysit, but they hadn't cleared the babysitting all the children with you ahead of time. That's just weird. If the restaurant and food were booked for an 8-hour time period, probably on a weekend, which would include prime business hours, then the lack of honesty and clarity here is odd. That's too big a commitment, and probably a contract was involved to just collapse. OP says, sorry for the misunderstanding. When they said they had to cancel for going and showing up. With something that close and how they already booked everything prior, they couldn't cancel the actual event and still pay for everything. So not only did they lose a sitter, but they lost a lot of money, says the same commenter. So they booked this big party and didn't give any thought to running the number of children past you. You are not the a-hole, and there is an update. I didn't expect to be posting an update so soon, as I thought they would both ghost me and we wouldn't talk again, and they would find another nanny. I was wrong. Jenna called me this afternoon, hoping for an apology. I picked up. She tried to guilt trip me
bummer.
into babysitting for her kids again, saying how there isn't another one like me, and she didn't want a younger nanny because she didn't want the kids latching on to her and calling her mom. If anything, wanted them to think of them as a grandma. She then went on to say she was sorry and she was wrong for doing what she did, and wanted me to come and be their nanny again. By the way, you can always come listen to full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen, just search OK Storytime. I let her finish her rant. After she was done talking, I said I was sorry she was that insecure about babysitters her age, and if she was that worried, she should take her head out of her butt and focus on her kids rather than her business. Even though she doesn't respect my time and effort, I do. I told her good luck finding another sitter and blocked her and Mitchell. I'm still having a hard time finding a replacement, but at least I'm free from the entitlement they showed. I most likely would not have said all that and put my foot down if it wasn't for all the comments you guys gave, so thank you. Really downplayed my self-worth as a nanny because I'm a caregiver for years, so the boost really helped. And there are some more comments here. Ooh. I am kind of mad you didn't play hardball, though.
Yeah, but she's like, I feel like she's just not gonna put up with any nonsense. She's no nonsense lady.
Yeah, but
she's like, I don't want to deal with this.
I think of what you could have done. You could have hardballed and maybe like made a contract where say there's I don't know how contracts work. I don't know if they need to get notarized. I don't know what makes them legally binding exactly.
Lawyer.
You could work in a clause where it's like if they fire you, like then you get like a golden parachute essentially of like a year's worth of nannying.
Like a severance package. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, and whenever you fire me, you're going to have to give me $100,000. Comment 1. If Jenna and Mitchell can treat their friends to a party, they could certainly pay OP the fair wage to babysit a gang of children. And make the request in advance rather than act like entitled donkeys about it. Another example of rich people who are cheap and banking on taking advantage of nice people who they think they can pressure into doing extraordinary favors for them. A reply says, with that number of children, she would probably have wanted to get an assistant in too for safety. These people placed no value on her skills or her time or on their children's safety. Another reply, people that don't have to take care of children, let alone their own, definitely don't understand how quickly things can go wrong, especially with that many children and only one adult to supervise. Then when something did happen, they would blame her. Comment 2 says, I love OP's backbone. Reply, even with that attitude, it was exceptionally stupid. A great nanny is famously hard to find and keep. They had one. She liked them, and they liked her, and they threw it away over pettiness. It's a good thing they're rich, or they'd never make it in the real world. Comment 3 says, bet ya they knew OP would refuse, so decided to ambush her as a, well, since you're always here thing. The final comment just says, I knew that they would be crawling back to her the next day. Yeah, there's a great, I don't know what the show is, but there's some show where people travel back in time and they're talking to Mansa Musa and they're like British or they're like English and they go back and they're talking to him. At that time, like the plague is over there in Europe. So Mansa Musa is just like, oh, like, ooh, gross. Like, wait, you're from England? The place with the plague? Like, gross. And he started talking about the richest guy and he's talking about Jeff Bezos and stuff. It's funny. It's funny. But hey, no one can know everything. Yeah, I was just, where did I learn? I guess I learned that in high school. Who was he? He was the king of, I think it was a northern African country or a northern African kingdom. I can't remember. Maybe it was Mali. Maybe it was Mali was a big kingdom out there. I can't remember. I can't remember his kingdom, but I'm going to, I'm going to the cafe, and then Carlito's going to come in here.
I cheated on my girlfriend with her sister, but they were already 10 steps ahead.
Whoa, boy, you can't double dip like that.
I, 24 male, have done a terrible, terrible thing. I have made a terrible, terrible mistake. I'm really not looking to be judged here. Well, you can't just say don't judge me. But I know it's gonna come no matter what. By the way, this comes from all three way 1212121 and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I found out the same day about both of them being pregnant. So not only are you a cheater, but you don't even do it safely?
Whoa! No. He cannot impregnate both sisters.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I really hope that's not the case.
Your uncle father to both of them.
No.
I have been with my girlfriend, 22 female, for 2 years, and her sister, 20 female, and I hooked up around 3 weeks ago. It only happened once, and she told me she was on birth control. Obviously not. My girlfriend and I have been trying, so I know it's mine. Her sister says hers is definitely mine because she hasn't been with anyone else in 2 months. I convinced my girlfriend to wait to tell people for a couple of weeks, and her sister said she's going to wait for me to tell the family I need to come clean. I need them both to know early on so I can sleep at night. I'm aware I'm going to be hated by their entire family and possibly all her friends. I'm trying to do the right thing if there even is an option. Any advice is appreciated. Dang, you're in a pickle. You are in a pickle. And we got comments.
I mean, that is just crazy to be like, yeah, I'm not looking for any judgment, blah, blah, but like,
Yeah.
what do I do? Deal with your
Ooh-wee.
consequences. That's what you do.
There is literally no right way to go about this. The right way is just telling them and then being prepared for them both to hate. Well, I mean, honestly, your girlfriend's sister has kind of no moral standing here. But, yeah, be prepared for your girlfriend and her entire family to hate you.
I couldn't even imagine. This is just like horrible outcome. Like,
yeah, truly terrible.
literally think about your choices before you do them. Just be
Yeah.
like, this is probably not the best idea.
And also, while you were trying for a baby,
Yeah, like, screw you, guy.
wow. Tripler X says, maybe sister told the girlfriend that you slept with her. Then they planned this fake pregnancy scare to get revenge on you before she dumps you.
Oh.
What? That would
That-
be wild. That's like 4D chess right there. Or maybe they really are both pregnant and you're effed. So effed, in fact, you may get pregnant this time. I'm going to just upvote your post to increase visibility for you to get feedback. I don't have any specific feedback other than come clean and deal with it. Exonerated says, well, for one, be honest. Make sure they both know. Your girlfriend will hopefully leave you. Maybe you might end up paying child support for both while everyone hates you for the rest of your life. And Opie says, I know she's going to leave me. I've accepted that and began to prepare silently. How could anyone stay? I'd be willing to help with the payments or any child support payments, 100% up to them. Lucky Fern says, this seems like they found out about each other and now we're trying to out you. But like, why would this, if I had a sister and she cheated with my boyfriend and they came to me and told me about it, I wouldn't want to work with her to try and out my boyfriend.
Right, yeah. I'd be like,
I'm
no.
never trusting you again.
Yeah, I'd be like, screw you and screw my now ex.
Yeah. Make sure they're both pregnant before telling everyone. Buy the test and have them do it with you there. Plus 3 weeks seems uncommon. OP says, I've seen only my girlfriend's test. I have had this thought as well, but my girlfriend's sister already knew about us. I'm Charm Type says, what made you sleep with a sister? OP says, temptation. Shut up. Shut up.
Wow, that's it.
Shut up.
Temptation. I'm trying to get her sister pregnant, though.
Yeah. Yeah. You know how that goes. I'm Charm Type says, where was your girlfriend when this happened? Her sister is aware of you and your girlfriend's relationship, correct? Opie says, yes, she's aware. I don't remember where she was. I believe she went out with some work friends. And we got an update 3 days later, but boy, oh boy, is this guy in the pickle of all pickles that he put
Yeah.
himself in.
No, for real. It's like, dude, did you like think this was all gonna be like peaches and cream?
Yeah. I mean, I truly wonder if he would have said anything had, the pregnancy stuff not been a factor. Because it doesn't feel like he was going to ever mention it.
Yeah, I think, well, so obviously the sister knows,
Yes.
but I don't think the girlfriend knows. Or does she know?
It doesn't seem that way. Doesn't seem like she knows.
Yeah.
But
So
we don't know for sure. A lot of people in the comments are convinced otherwise. But we got an update 3 days later. I posted last Friday afternoon. On Fridays, my girlfriend gets off work at 10 p.m. I told her sister to come over around 9:45 p.m. because we're going to tell her the truth. She agreed, and I waited. The anxiety I felt was tremendous, but I just kept reminding myself that this was all my fault and nobody else but me made that mistake. I mean, your girlfriend's sister also made the mistake.
yeah, you're not the only one in this.
Yeah.
But
When sister didn't arrive by 10, I knew something was up. My suspicions were confirmed when they walked in the house together at 10:15. They sat me down and explained the situation. Sister had come clean to girlfriend, and after a brief quarrel and anger, they decided to F with me to see how long I would keep the secret for. Your girlfriend's actually insane.
this whole thing's insane.
Your girlfriend is like actually insane. Props to them because I was completely blindsided. By the way, I'm not going to blindside you. I'm going to let you know right now that you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this if you go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There's a little bit more to this story, but what?
Yeah. Literally, so the sisters were in on it.
Yes.
And so, like, I know the girlfriend actually is pregnant. So is the
Yes.
sister not pregnant then?
I don't think so. It seems like girlfriend, sister, and OP hook up. Girlfriend, sister gets feels guilty, goes to the girlfriend, says this happened. Girlfriend gets mad, then says, you know what? Let's work together. Let's screw with OP, which is absolutely mind-boggling to me that you would just seemingly within a day forgive your sister enough to the point where you're willing to work together.
I don't know. I couldn't. I'd be like, no. You have consequences as well.
I think I would feel more betrayed by my sister,
Oh,
by
for
my
sure.
sibling who did that.
Yeah.
Girlfriend, now ex-girlfriend, was very calm and as sister pack her bag to stay with her. I told my friends and I would bring her belongings and furniture anywhere they need me to. She told me she didn't want me touching her stuff and she would be moved out when I got home from work on Monday. Neither were pregnant. Oh. They found out about me cheating and F with me. Am single now. What do you mean they found out about you cheating? The sister knew that. What?
The sister was there. I'm pretty sure she was conscious.
Yeah,
hopefully.
she's like, what? What? He cheated on you? Oh my God. I did not know that when I slept with him.
Literally.
Comments. Jay says, surprise your ex isn't mad at her sister for effing you. That's what I'm wondering. OP says they were briefly, but sibling love is different than romantic love, so it's easier to forgive her. I don't think that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I think it would be harder to forgive her because it is more of a betrayal.
Yeah. Because it's like, you're my freaking sister.
Yeah, that's just a guy.
Yeah.
That's just a guy I've been together with for 2 years. I've known you for 20 years.
Yeah.
Actually crazy. Deleted says, maybe not cheat next time, bud. Lucky in the Sky says, well, good news. You save 40% of your income on 2 baby mamas. Use a wiener wrapper. Fandango Jones says, justice best served cold. But the sister got no justice. Pisses me off.
Yeah, the girlfriend literally, she didn't get any, I mean, I guess she got the satisfaction of, like, tricking, this guy to make him freak out. But, like,
So
I don't know. The whole thing that was just a crazy story.
Yeah. Jeez Louise. But that's the end of it, and we got another one coming right up.
My boyfriend's sister is extremely clingy, and it made me uncomfortable.
Give me some space!
I, 19 female, am honestly not sure how I should deal with this. My boyfriend, 20 male, and I have been dating for about 2.5 years, and during the last year, it became increasingly clear to me that he and his sister, let's call her Anna, 22 female, do not have a healthy relationship. By the way, this comes from throwaway 194829382. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I am Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we are here to give good advice goofily, but obviously we don't have all the answers. We'd only tell you what we would do in this situation, but we would love to know what you would do in this situation in the comments below. As OP says, I am not sure if we even had a single date to ourselves until September, when both Anna and I went to different cities for college. She went to the other side of the country while I was just a city away. I traveled every weekend to see him, and that was when we finally had some quality time with just the two of us. A few months ago, he told me that he was pretty sure Anna was jealous of me. She often complained that he would do things for me that he would not do for her, and that it was not fair. He tried establishing boundaries a few times, but he could never stand his ground because she would bother him constantly if he tried, insisting and complaining. It does not help that their dad is on Anna's side, while their mom understands that a romantic relationship is and should be different from a sibling relationship. There is honestly a lot more. More often than not, I would not even know she was coming along with us until he came to pick me up and I received a "we're here" text instead of an "I'm here" one. There is also what I personally consider excessive physical contact. I can understand giving a back rub when your back is itchy, even though I have never asked my family for that. However, I find kissing your brother's bare back after a back rub is quite weird. Yeah. There is also Anna's profile picture, which is of my boyfriend kissing her cheek. It genuinely looks like a photo of a couple. On top of that, there are excessive phone calls. She called him 10 consecutive times when he was out with friends during the week because he was out later than usual. He got home at about 12:30 a.m. She also calls now when we are hanging out without her just to check in and keep us company until we get to our destination.
Seems like you are in a relationship of 3.
Yeah.
And you gotta set some boundaries and talk to your partner and say, hey, I didn't choose to be in a little polyamorous relationship. I'm in a relationship with you, not your sister.
Yeah. And that's so hard to do because some people are like ingrained
That's my
that
sister.
that's not weird.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's weird, dude. And I don't think you have to necessarily come from it from the standpoint
Yeah.
of being like, hey, you have a weird relationship with your sister, because he might be defensive about that. But I think you come from it from the standpoint of, hey, I feel like our time is being interrupted and I want to be able to spend time with you as my partner, not, three person
I don't
time.
want a third wheel with your sister.
Yes.
That's weird. I broke down to him about this a while ago because I cannot deal with feeling like I am competing with his sister, which is such a weird statement. I honestly thought about breaking up with him because I genuinely felt like the third wheel in my own relationship. It got better for the last couple of months, but she just came back from college and I am honestly scared of things going back to how they were before. Now to the incident at hand. I accidentally found out what my boyfriend's gift will be for Christmas. It is a Christmas hair bow. He also got a Christmas bow tie so we could match, okay? A couple days ago, we were out and he asked me if there was anything I would like because he felt like maybe his gift would not be enough. I asked him how much he spent on it because I thought he might feel like he did not spend enough and I wanted to reassure him that it was okay no matter the amount. I am going to write out the rest of our interaction as rough dialogue for simplicity. This is more or less how it went.
For your bow, my bow tie, and my sister's bow, I spent...
Your sister's bow?
Yeah.
You got her one too for Christmas?
Yeah.
Is it the exact same one, same pattern too?
Yeah.
So you got us the same gift. Why?
She said she wanted one too so we could all match. Even if I didn't get it for her, she would have gotten it herself.
At that point, I told him that this was weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
And also just, you got your girlfriend a bow?
See, if I did that, like if,
That's
say, my sister and her boyfriend, like, they've been dating for what, like 5-6 months, whatever. If I got us all like matching like hair ties and him like a bow, it would be a joke. And I'd be like, guys, look, we're matching. We're twins, blah, blah, blah. And they'd be like, what is wrong with you? And they would laugh about it.
Exactly. I feel like
I'm not doing it seriously, though.
Yeah, but for him to get it, and also it's not even just like a joke gift. This is like the only gift he got her.
Yeah.
Which is also crazy to me because I understand needing to, sometimes people need a budget or just like agreed upon a small amount for Christmas gifts, but like you only got her a bow for her hair.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that is more than $10.
Yeah. Like at most $10, at least $2.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And that just doesn't, like, a hair tie is not a lot. You can literally go to the dollar store and get one. Couples match. The only time I ever matched with my brother and his girlfriend was when the whole family matched with similar Christmas sweaters. It was not me intruding. I could maybe understand Anna wanting to match with him, even if I personally think that is too much, but matching with both of us feels wrong. Probably because it is wrong. It's just weird. In my opinion, the only time it is reasonable to match with a couple is if you are the child of that couple. I think it is weird for her to want to match with us, and I believe it crosses another line. I also told him that I understand it is the thought that counts when it comes to gifts, but I am honestly not sure I can appreciate the thought behind this gift given the situation. He got extremely quiet. He let me ramble for a bit, but it was clear he was going nonverbal and needed space somewhere quiet. He was upset, not at me, but because he thought that my gift was now ruined. I did not have the heart to tell him that. Honestly, yes, it kind of was. I have not seen his sister yet. I am invited to his aunt's sisters for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day like every year, but I am not sure I can go. I do not think I will be able to hide the disappointment on my face. I genuinely hate talking about this because I feel like it paints him in a bad light. It is not his fault that he grew up in an environment where this kind of unhealthy attachment was normal and encouraged. He is slowly understanding that this bond is not okay, and I understand that he is still processing that realization on his own since it came as a shock when I talked to him about it. I am not sure what to do, and I really need advice. Thank you for reading. And there's an update. But what do we think?
Yeah, you gotta have a big long conversation with him and say that it's affecting your guys' relationship and you feel like a third wheel.
Yeah. I don't like how it's very much like a weird dynamic, but like it's hard to say something when it's like family.
Yeah, because you
And,
don't
like,
want, they get defensive.
Yeah, and like that's the way they grew up. They think that that's normal, but it's like I want to be in a relationship with you, not your entire family.
Yeah.
And like this isn't what I had in mind. Like you're a great person, but like I don't really want to do that. So like that's I don't know, weird. Don't like.
Agreed.
There was an update. Thank you for all your advice and kind words. I really appreciated it. I asked him to meet up after he was done with work so we could talk face to face. He picked me up and parked around the neighborhood so we could talk privately in the car. It might honestly have been the first time we talked about an issue face to face. I'm proud of myself for being able to speak up and make myself understood. I made sure he understood how upsetting and unhealthy the situation is. I brought up many of your points, including helping him recognize that this is emotional, genetic copy pasting. He had to take on a caregiver role and give up a lot of his childhood because of it, due to their parents not being home often because of work and financial issues. That was neglect on their part, and even if it was involuntarily, it led to Anna being harmful toward him. I talked to him about how, in most cases, it is not appropriate to gift your girlfriend and sister the same thing. I also explained how this sets a precedent. What if one day he wants to gift me something more intimate, like a perfume? What if she asks him to get her the same one or buys it herself if he refuses? That feels like too much. I also brought up the excessive phone calls and texts, and guess what? That happened again today. We met up at about 5:30 p.m. He always calls his mom to let her know he arrived safely wherever he is going, and he did that today before telling me he had arrived. His sister started calling us at about 6:55 p.m. He usually answers, but this time he declined the call and told me she could ask their mother where he was. She called 3 more times. He declined every time. Then she called him on WhatsApp around 7:10 p.m. He declined that too. When that did not work, I worried she might call me. Instead, she called him using their mom's phone because she knew he would answer since his mom only calls for important things. Okay. Why does she feel the need to be involved? I don't understand. Like, is she not getting enough attention at home? Is she not, like, maybe something's happening?
Probably just like the way they were raised, and she expects him to come through on everything now, and expects that he will cater to all of her like attention needs.
Yeah.
And until he starts putting up pretty firm boundaries, that'll probably continue to happen.
I think once he starts putting up boundaries with her, like everything's gonna change, obviously. Yeah. But he picked up, heard her voice sounding offended and pouty because he was ignoring her, and she just wanted to know how he was. He was reasonably pissed off. He told her everything was fine and to stop calling. Then he hung up. That was a total of 6 calls in about 15 minutes. We went back to talking. He agreed with everything I said and told me it was getting extremely frustrating and exhausting. He had always thought this was just how things were and that he had to deal with it. I also brought up the physical contact. He admitted that he really wants space from her. Anna is the only one seeking physical affection. For context, I am diagnosed autistic, and we are fairly sure he is as well. He is very uncomfortable with physical contact unless he is the one initiating it. His sister and father do not seem to care. He told me that just yesterday he hugged his mom, and Anna complained that he was nice to their mom but mean to her. Their father scolded him and went to give kisses to Anna instead. I truly believe both of them are the reason he never thought anything was strange and believed his own feelings did not matter. There is a lot more to it. Anna was their miracle baby, while he was an accident. There is so much more that led to him sacrificing himself for whatever his family wanted, but that is not my story to tell. He told me he wants things to change, but he does not know how to make that happen. We wrote a message to my former therapist who helped me deal with family issues, depression, and social anxiety. I can absolutely vouch for her. If nothing else comes up, he has an appointment this Friday, and I will be there with him because he wants my support. He went home for dinner, and about 10 minutes after texting me that he got home, he told me he finally had enough and blew up at his sister and dad. Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, when you keep it all inside for years and years and years, and then you finally just can't take it anymore, doesn't usually come out in, like, the healthiest way.
It's true. It's like, yeah, he just bubbled it up and just was like, but he also didn't realize. And then when he got validated in his feelings, he's like, oh, so this isn't normal for everyone. So I can feel uncomfortable when this happens. So now he's just like, oh,
I've got to let it all out now.
Yeah. Oh, poor guy. When he got home, his dad did not even greet him. He sarcastically asked if he had called his sister back, and that was the breaking point. He told his dad that she needs to stop. She called 6 times in 15 minutes, and if he is out doing something, she cannot bombard him with calls. She heard him. She was in the bathroom washing her face because she was crying. She claimed it was not true and that she did not call him that many times. He showed his call log and told their dad to stop defending everything she does.
Yeah, what a terrible lie.
Yeah.
Something so easily disproved.
I did not call that many times.
17 missed calls.
Right?
Those weren't me.
You literally called on your mom's phone.
Yeah.
Like, how do you cover that up? She started crying again, and their dad tried to scold him, saying she had been crying since earlier because of him. Anna went to their mom, who told her she needs to learn not to call him so much. He is not a child, and she cannot be all over him. Later, their dad told him something that roughly translates to giving her more confidence. He meant that my boyfriend needs to stop being cold and distant, and that Anna was crying because he did not answer. He stood his ground and said she needs therapy for her anxiety and cannot stress him out because of it. Their dad said it would not cost him anything to answer her calls, but my boyfriend told him he does not have to answer her or explain everything he does. From now on, when he is out, he will only answer his mom's calls. If anyone else calls from her phone, he will hang up. That is where things stand for now. I'm really proud of him, and I made sure he knew that. Later, he told me he was happy that I finally felt comfortable speaking up freely around him. I do struggle with communication, especially face-to-face, and this was the first time we talked about a serious issue in person. I am happy with how everything went. For Christmas, we might even celebrate at my house for the first time. Thank you all again for helping. By the way, we'll help you listen to full episodes just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. And you will see all of the wonderful things. There's about 3 months worth of stories in there. Probably more now. But there is another update. Do you have anything else? Last things?
Well, it seems like it's heading in the right direction. It seems like your boyfriend was pretty enmeshed within his family, but like not on his side. He just kind of thought this was the norm, and they pressured him to not create any boundaries with them. And now you've helped him realize that this is not normal, and I think you guys are on a good path.
Yeah, I think that it's gonna work out because I think like he also realized that this is unhealthy and that this is not a good behavior to have with your family, especially with like your sibling. And he finally stood up for himself, and I think that it's only gonna go up from here. I hope, like, you know, obviously there's gonna be probably a little bit of regression, and you know, he's probably gonna feel bad and have a little guilt, whatever, along the way. That's perfectly normal. But I just think that, yeah, I think that, OP, you're doing well.
Agreed.
I will end with a small tidbit he shared earlier. 2 days ago, we went out. Since I started college and come home on breaks, we have been hanging out for entire days instead of just afternoons and evenings. Apparently, his sister did not know that. She called before dinner to ask if we wanted to go to their house for a bit because their mom made a Christmas dish. We politely declined because we were already heading back to my house to eat. Yesterday, she was apparently offended and upset because we did not want to hang out with her. Just hearing that made me want to bang my head against a wall.
And that's it. And that's where we're going to end.
My stepdaughter went to school in pajamas and I stayed silent.
The horror?
I, 31 female, married my husband, 37 male, in December, then moved in with him and his daughter, 15 female. The mom, 41 female, is in the picture, but my stepdaughter lives with us full time. By the way, this comes from Severe Drive 9515. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, on the first day of school after Christmas break for my stepdaughter, I was to drive her to school. When she was ready, she was in pajamas that smelled like gym clothes. She had pimple patches all over her face. Her hair was messy and greasy, but I didn't say anything. She's 15 and in 10th grade. I figure she's old enough to dress herself. Plus, if her mom and dad don't have a problem with it, why should I? My mom, 53 female, came to visit. My mom looked like her eyes would fall out of her head when she saw how my stepdaughter looked when she came home from school. My mom asked how on earth I'm allowing my stepdaughter to go to school like that. I told my mom nobody asked for my input and it wasn't really my decision. She called me, my husband, and my stepdaughter's mom bad parents for allowing her to look like that at school. I asked my mom to leave my house. Am I the a-hole?
No.
Yeah, no.
No, she was wearing pajamas.
Yeah.
Not really a big deal.
Pajamas, messy hair, and pimple patches.
I did that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like-
I had a uniform, but
Oh, I didn't. I was a very, sweatshirt jeans person.
Yeah.
Though.
but we were able to wear sweatpants when it got cold. And Uggs. That was great because I went to an all-girl school and they allowed sweatpants and Uggs during the cold season.
There you go.
And I was showing up with sweatpants and
It's
Uggs.
as long as you're there and you're learning, what's the problem?
It's really not an
Yeah.
issue.
Edit. This is for the wonderful people who are concerned about my stepdaughter. I agree I'm the a-hole. I now
Huh?
understand this is not normal. I will do my best to get her professional help.
What?
Is stepdaughter really depressed or something?
I don't know. That seems like everyone made a huge assumption and then it was right.
Yeah. This time, 232. Plus, if mom and dad don't have a problem with it, why should I? Did you bring this up to her dad, your husband? Because I can understand that as the stepmother, you don't want to overstep your boundaries and tell her what to do, but there's nothing stopping you from telling your husband that it would be better if his daughter didn't go to school smelling like gym clothes. Crow Away Caca says, yeah, 15-year-olds absolutely still sometimes need gentle guidance from trusted adults, especially around hygiene. This is a normal thing for a parent to do and a normal thing for a step-parent to have a conversation with her dad about. It's very weird to just ignore it. Ginger Wolfhound, I just want to commend you for taking some pretty strong feedback and judgment and being open to hearing how you can better support your stepdaughter going forward. It gives me hope that she'll get some focus and help and you two will develop a good relationship. Parenting is hard and you're new to it and don't have the context or baseline of what's normal that parents from birth have developed over time. Keep asking questions and being open to uncomfortable answers that might challenge you. Best case, it was first day back from holiday break. She woke up late, didn't have a chance to shower, grabbed the first clothes she found, or kept on her PJs, and ran out the door. Easily solved. My teen girls regularly wear PJ bottoms and tees with no makeup to school, but will spend 45 minutes on their hair. They look like a rumpled mess, but smell lovely. There's evidence of some self-care, even if the focus isn't where I put it when I was a teen.
I agree with that comment. I think there's a possibility that it's because she hasn't, OP didn't say this is an ongoing issue. I think it's probably
I
okay.
think it's probably fine. I never wore makeup to school. I didn't wake up super early to do my hair. I woke up, I brushed it.
Yeah, we didn't have pimple patches until
those weren't
college.
really things.
But I wear them now out. So that's not really, I'm not worried about that. As you guys know, you've probably seen me in them. I really think unless
know.
this is a thing that's happening a lot, then I wouldn't be too worried.
Yeah, a seemingly first offense. I think it sounds like people were really harsh. She even has the judgment of gentle, you're the a-hole.
Yeah, I think that's maybe too harsh. But let's see if there's any more information we're missing.
Yeah, we have an update. I, 31 female, am thankful to all who are concerned about my stepdaughter, 15 female. Last night, I talked to my stepdaughter and my husband, 37 male, individually. I gently asked my stepdaughter about how she looks and smells when she goes to school, especially the sweaty body odor, the pajamas, the pimple patches, and the messy, greasy hair.
Again, the pimple patches, I think you guys who are focusing on that are maybe of the older generation.
Yeah, because I can understand sweaty body odor. Sure, gross.
Mm-hmm.
Pajamas, I think a lot of high school kids end up wearing occasionally. Pimple patches, fine.
Everyone wears those.
Messy, greasy hair.
Yeah, sure.
Could have just been an off-wash day, but if it's like smelly, messy, greasy hair.
I think
if
we only got
ponytail,
maybe 2 offenses.
Yeah.
But like not
and if
even.
she's just throwing her greasy hair up fully, as long as she washes it that night.
I'm not that worried, but again, maybe we're missing something.
Given that I wash all the clothes, I know for a fact her clothes look clean and smell good when she gets them. The first thing is she was surprised she smells when she's going to school. She literally goes to school in pajamas she sleeps in. Not the same pajamas more than one night, but she manages to sweat enough to smell them up in her sleep. She seemed bothered by the fact that she smells, but not as bothered as I would be if someone told me that. The second thing, for everything else, she said neither her friends nor her boyfriend judge her for looking like that. She said other girls look similar. She said she's comfortable and not interested in pleasing judgmental people. I ask her if she knows she can come to me, her dad, or her mom if she has any mental health problems. My stepdaughter says she knows, and she's good. She thanked me for worrying about her. And by the way, I would thank you guys if you went and listened to more full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. Yeah,
I didn't think it was an issue, and it doesn't seem like it's a huge issue.
This just sounds like y'all are way more concerned about her.
Yeah, which is good. I think parents should be concerned to a certain level.
If she fixes the body odor stuff, she's chilling.
Yeah, genuinely, I knew a lot of girls who smelled at my high school.
I know a lot that just
mentally
showed up kind of chill. No makeup, hair not done, like that. That was fine.
Yeah, I think it happens when you're growing and you're dealing with puberty and stuff. And I think it's good to like just bring it up gently, which is what you did, and just say, hey, let's make sure we're washing, we're putting on deodorant before we go out.
Yeah.
But the pajamas, the pimple patches, that's kind of every
really
teenager.
Not a big issue. Yeah. My husband said she was a tomboy until middle school, that she dressed very girly during middle school and the first few months of high school. He said she had told me a while back that she was surprised how non-judgmental her fellow high school students were about clothes. I asked him to promise me to get her checked out by a mental health professional as a precaution, and he promised me.
I don't know if
Why are we freaking out so much?
I think that I genuinely think the commenters freaked OP out.
I think so.
I think the commenters went overboard and freaked OP out, because I don't think this is necessary.
This morning on the phone, I apologized to my mom, 53 female, and we plan to meet physically on Friday.
No, your mom's wrong.
I am a little relieved about my stepdaughter's answers and attitude to all of this, but still concerned and will still keep an eye on her regarding this matter. I'm going to try to be a better stepmom. That's where we're at now. Comments. Consulate financier. Not the a-hole to me. This reads like a thoughtful course correction where concern turned into listening and respect instead of control, which matters far more at her age. Opie says, I still think I'm the a-hole. Something could have and can still be seriously wrong. Because I watched too much TikTok, I just assumed that her presentation was normal teen girl stuff.
It is. It is.
STL River Girl, but also not everything is worst case scenario. Teenagers are weird.
Yes.
They go through phases. She could just be perfectly comfortable with who she is and how she's received. Maybe just highlight totally cool to wear pajamas or comfy clothes to school, but put some fresh ones on because you can sweat and smell musty.
I agree.
Easy peasy. Also grab some dry shampoo for her for the days where she doesn't feel like putting in the effort to shower. I don't think you need to rush her to a mental health professional because of one day.
Agreed.
You talked to her. She said she's okay. She said she would come to you. Trust her. If it becomes a pattern, then you bring it up again.
Also, I think that if you push this, if you take her to a mental health professional, I don't think she will trust you.
Yeah, I don't
go
think
to
she'll
UNAC.
actually tell you again
Yeah.
because you didn't listen to her.
Yeah, because she said, I'm okay, and then you said, no, you're not.
I would
It's
agree.
like the worst thing for a teenager to, experience is when their parents don't listen to them.
My stepdaughter did a prank on me when I thought we were getting along.
That actually might be a sign that you are getting along.
I, 29, married my stepdaughter's 17 father, 40, 3 years ago. Ever since day one, I've struggled to connect with her. She's always been the only girl in her father's life, as her mother passed away when she was young. By the way, this comes from Hot Pepper Throwaway, and if you want some of your own stories, you know where to go.
To the r/OK Storytime subreddit.
I'm Riley,
I'm Dakota.
And I'm Vincent back here with Keon.
and we're here to give good advice goofily. We're supposed to be goofy. You're supposed to comment any thoughts you have. So, as OP continues, needless to say, he had a hard time when her father got a girlfriend and then a new wife. I've tried where I could, but for the past 5 years total of our relationship, I've been subjected a lot of anger and disrespect. And she gets even more resentful if her father takes my side. I tried to find a fun bonding activity under my husband's request, so this morning I took her to a special hot sauce store because she loves spicy food and pretends to be some expert. I hate spicy food. Dude, why are we bonding over this?
I can feel the resentment in that message. She pretends to be some kind of expert. Like, okay.
I hate spicy food, and I have cracks on my tongue. But I figured she could mostly enjoy this herself, and I would watch her taste. We each picked a sauce for tasting. She said mine was terrible, because it was the most mild they had, and it was too sweet. She even laughed at me for being a baby. This is bonding. This is bonding.
Yeah, that is bonding. And you were being a baby. It's not spicy.
She then tasted hers and seemed absolutely unaffected. She said she picked one that wasn't spicy at all and that it had really good flavors in it. After a lot of pressuring from her, particularly about how I was supposed to be bonding with her, I made the mistake and tried it. Turns out the sauce had the spiciest pepper, Carolina Reaper.
Which is not still the spiciest pepper, but it's up there. 100%.
I was in so much pain, I thought I was going to pass away. She laughed at me while the clerk in the store brought me something to help with the pain. It was absolutely terrible. He said he himself couldn't believe that my stepdaughter found this sauce not spicy, and she must be faking it. When we were back in the car, I told her on the spot she had no phone, no TV or computer, not anything, not school related for the next 2 weeks because she clearly did this to hurt me. She screamed at me in the car about how I'm not her mother, I was gaslighting and villainizing her, and that she wished I wasn't in her life. I told her that if she thought I didn't have the authority to her as a parent, then fine. I'll just let her father punish her. Okay, you are the a-hole. You're the a-hole.
Yeah?
Yes. Hope he's the a-hole.
Elaborate.
So, we already know we do not have a good relationship with stepdaughter. And
Yeah.
we're trying to find something to bond.
Yeah.
Number one, you picked some bonding activity that you had nothing to do with.
Yeah, the bond would only be negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two, okay, you were going outside of your comfort zone into a place that you do not like. If something like this happens or is funny, you just kind of laugh it off. You're like, oh my gosh, that pepper, I can't believe you did that. That would kind of show that you're cool with the person. I mean, I get the prank
Yeah.
might have been a little harmful, but like that's sort of the funny thing to do, you know?
Yeah,
And
I think it's kind of like she's going to match your energy. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
she pranked you with the super hot sauce, and like, for some people that would be like a really bad time. I know that. But like, you really do have to kind of, if you want to get what you want out of this, which is a better relationship with her, you can't be the hammer. You just can't.
Oh man, she started the waterworks as soon as she entered the house. And surprisingly, my husband flipped on me, saying that my expectations of spicy were unrealistic and that I couldn't prove that she really did it on purpose.
Well, I mean, of course she did it on purpose, but you know,
What movie is this?
it's a thing that is solved with a glass of milk.
Even when I took her electronics, my husband gave them back to her, telling me that I'm harsh and unfair. Her daughter made several snide remarks, which he usually stops, but this time he said she was justified. I told him that in this case, he was justified sleeping on the couch tonight. Am I the a-hole for grounding my stepdaughter over her prank? We got some comments.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think you are the a-hole. And then it's like, it's weird to then be like, then you can sleep on the couch tonight. It's like, because you're not punishing your daughter the way I would want to. And it's like, over a thing you kind of did, you did this. And even, you know, it's probably written retroactively, but the way you're like, she thinks she's some kind of expert. Well, if she can handle Carolina Reaper, yeah, she is. And, you know, whatever. If you brought different energy to that and you were like, I'm going to get you back, then it's like, okay, now you did bond. You did a thing.
This guy gets it. You could be an amazing stepdad if you chose to be so.
I'll be your stepdad if you really want me to.
Okay, there is an update, everyone. Future Key Wiz says, you're the a-hole. And part of me thinks you made up details of this story. You obviously have your own not so positive thoughts just based in some comments you made in the post. Also, it doesn't sound like her father gave you any authority whatsoever to punish her or take her stuff away. Opie says, she went out of her way to physically harm me.
Oh, shut up.
Who knows what she'd do next if she's starting this?
Oh, my God. Yeah, you know what? You are the worst, dude. No wonder she doesn't like you.
Update. Husband came into the room and said he wanted to discuss something with me. He looked guilty, and I thought it was for the yelling. Sure enough, he and stepdaughter thought it would be a fun prank and just believe I was being a baby over the spice.
Which you are. And it's okay if you're a little spice baby. But you are.
He then saw how angry I was with his daughter and got mad because she wasn't all to blame, but decided to just invalidate me rather than come clean and tell the truth. But it did backfire big time. He did apologize, but I'm just so hurt. I'm now at a friend's house, and I'm still shaking. I'm so mad.
Goo goo gaga. Baby. Baby alert.
Okay, well, to specify, my husband had a large part in this. He actually is the one who gave the idea of the store, obviously, and gave me a huge lecture about how I should just go and have fun with her and just try the least spiciest thing. He said he thought that if I could laugh at myself a bit, his daughter would bond with me. That was the key. That was
Dude,
the key.
yeah.
That was the key.
I don't know, man. Maybe I think the key here is you needed to be let in on that by your husband. If that was really the mission, it's like, look, I'm trying to help you out. She's going to do this thing. Try to take it well. Whatever.
Yep.
But I don't know.
Yep. I feel so angry and betrayed. I've come to realize that maybe he's a larger portion of the problem than the stepdaughter. He's blowing up my phone now, non-apologizing by claiming he didn't realize I'd get so emotional over it. I think they've won. We have a second update. He's now magically gone 180 because he's missing his time with you. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I finally sent him a text saying that I was not coming home for a couple of days. I felt manipulated by both of them. I'd been guilt-tripped into this activity and did not think I could handle being in a relationship where this is going on. He said, I crap you not, that his daughter misled him into thinking this was a good thing for bonding and that he'd reinstate her punishment if I came home. Honestly, I'm disgusted by that, and I'm still certain the stepdaughter has her own issues with me, but I cannot believe he's so quick to use his child as a bargaining chip for our marriage.
Yeah, now I don't like anyone in this story.
Yeah, dude. Everyone here.
They all suck.
What school can we send these people to? How to have friends and, have good times? How to do
How
pranks?
to do prank school.
How to do pranks with your stepdaughter that doesn't like you.
How to do pranks and how to have spice.
How to have pranks and how to have spice, Keon says.
Yeah.
It could help a lot of people.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
It makes me think that he knew he wouldn't get along. Even if he assured me it would get better, and that he's really orchestrating a lot of the chaos in my life. I made sure he knew how grossly unappealing that was. I also sent stepdaughter a text telling her that I was sorry for reacting harshly, but I thought it was all on her and that I was wrong. I also apologized for her being in the middle of all this, but I still said that I was hurt by her part in it because, at the least, I've always wanted a friendly relationship with her. I was left on red and do not intend on contacting her again. I just feel bad because I don't know how many other times she's been weaponized by her father. We have an update 3.
Yeah.
Oh, the fog is clearing.
We are starting to see. We are seeing the picture.
So you think it was stepdaughter being malicious this whole time?
Well, I don't know. Now it sounds like it could have been dad the whole time. Sort of egging it on. Which is weird.
Ugh. Update 3. I'm having a spa day with my friend tomorrow, staying at her house now, and then after I'm contacting a divorce lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Fair.
What he's doing is anytime we get an argument, he's giving stepdaughters ideas to make my life heck. He pretends to be calm and okay to my face, but then he finds a way to get me back. I'm over this, and I'll also be taking my things tomorrow. But I'll make sure I'm accompanied by a male friend so that I feel safe. Update 4. I received a text back from, in quotation marks, stepdaughter this morning asking me to come home. She says I've abandoned her and her father, and that her late mother would never have done that. So...
No, just we're moving on. We're moving forward. This is great. This is so clearly a concoction.
So now the kid who's been trying to get me out of the house resents me for leaving. I'm like 90% sure that my husband found out I sent stepdaughter a text and has texted me as her. Needless to say, his panic to my leaving for a couple of days has been overwhelming and eye-opening. I've contacted a divorce lawyer already over email and hope to be calling him later today. For now, I gotta run to the spa.
Hell yeah.
Nothing like a divorce spa. There's definitely a discount they got somewhere.
Yeah, there's
like,
yeah.
It's like it's a special at every corner in Malibu.
The same day divorce special. If you can, yeah.
Get a lawyer.
If you
and
call your lawyer in the lobby, we'll give you free facial. Yeah.
Update 5. Wow, this is blown up, and I have an update here.
Just like her toilet.
Stepdaughter actually, sure enough, was not sending me those texts.
Oh, shocker.
I took a small spa day session, spoke with a divorce lawyer on the phone, appointment tomorrow, and then went back to the house with a couple of girlfriends and a guy friend.
Oh. Oh.
Thank God I did, because he was trying to force me to stay. He even called the police on me and my friends. We explained what's going on, and of course we were fine. I also spoke to stepdaughter. She was mad, of course, but because I apparently told her father that if he took her phone and laptop, I'd come home. Now he's lying to the daughter?
Yeah.
Guy's crazy.
Happy divorce. Good job. Good divorce.
My husband was away for a moment, so I finally just went ahead and showed her the texts I got from her, which were sent after she had her punishment reinstated. She was so freaked out, to say the least, and told me she hadn't even read the text I sent her. I took the chance to ask her about the car. Sure enough, my husband told her she could use it for the weekend, and then she was told that I changed my mind during her weekend, and then wanted her grounded for not driving it back immediately. I started crying again. I cannot tell you how terrified I was in that moment. I did take the chance to apologize to her in person and tell her that I didn't know any of this was going on, and that I am not going to pretend we had a bond at all or even a real chance, but that she doesn't deserve any of this.
That was a good. I like that. That was just real.
Conspiracy.
Hmm. Yes. Oh, the twisted web. He's weaving it right now.
What is my conspiracy?
I don't know. Tell me.
Dude, I thought you got it.
What do you?
I just airdropped it to you.
No, dude. Tell me.
Okay. This was all the bonding exercise. This whole thing.
The whole marriage.
The whole
divorce?
thing. No, like the whole thing from the dad. He's like, okay, if I'm the actual villain here, they'll come together, they'll talk on their own terms, and they'll want to actually be a thing to fight
So it
against
was
something.
a long con to. Okay.
Who cares if I get
Sure,
divorced?
yeah.
Who cares if, like, everything, if half my assets go away? At least my wife and my stepdaughter had a connection.
He just married this younger woman to give his daughter a mentor.
Yeah.
That
That's
was
the most
his goal.
beautiful thing ever.
Oh man. Yeah, no, that's
Absolute cinema.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. That's down the rabbit hole.
Guess what? She cried too. They're bonding.
She cried.
And told me some other details of the night before, and that this wasn't the first relationship that ended similarly. But now she's realizing why, and in 4 months, she's going to be 18, and she's going to be gone. I let her know that if she needs some help getting on her feet and out of the situation, to let me know.
It's happening. It's happening.
It wouldn't be as a step parent, but as a friend. But guys, if you want to listen to more stories, go to your favorite podcast platform and search up OK Storytime. And OP says, just as some help, not as a step parent, I also told her what I told my husband. I'm leaving for good and I'm filing for divorce. I'm worth way too much to deal with this. Do I feel bad for stepdaughter? Yes. But there's nothing I can do, unfortunately, at least until she's an adult. Also, thank you for these awards. This is a throwaway. Please don't spend money on me. And we have an update. I'm out. Staying with a girlfriend. I'm still shooken up, but I feel so relieved. It's like a major stress is gone in my life. It'll take a while to get the divorce through, but we have a police report now, which I explained to the police what was going on. Since my husband called them, I now have proof. She's out. She's gone.
She's gone.
Spice free.
Yeah.
Spice
It
free.
was never a stepdaughter problem.
That was wild,
It was
dude.
the husband.
I did
That's
not see
so
that
crazy.
one. Did not see that one coming. My mother-in-law stays friends with my husband's ex, and I feel so disrespected.
Yeah, it could certainly be disrespectful.
I'm married. My husband and I have a strong relationship, and we're starting to seriously think about having kids. My husband is supportive and has my back, but I've been increasingly stressed about my relationship with his mother, especially as we think about pregnancy and the future. By the way, this comes from No Cryptographer 88, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I am Riley,
I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
and we're goofy people giving goofy advice. That's our job. Your job is to put any comments you would have about this down below. And OP says, from the outside, our relationship probably looks fine. She likely thinks we're close, but I feel emotionally guarded around her. And that feeling has built up over time through a lot of small and not so small moments. From the very beginning, boundaries felt off. The first time I ever spoke to her was over the phone. And during that conversation, she immediately started giving my husband updates about his ex-girlfriend and her life.
All right, yeah, we're in Disrespect City now. Immediately, Disrespect-topia is where we are at.
In the first conversation,
It's insane. And that's on purpose. You know what you're doing. That's crazy.
it felt inappropriate for a first interaction with a new partner and set the tone early for me thinking like the current relationship wasn't being protected. Early on, she also shared very personal information about her own past pregnancies with both me and my mother separately in a way that felt emotionally heavy and not appropriate for how our new relationship was. I remember feeling uncomfortable but not wanting to cause tension, so I stayed quiet. Over time, she continued to blur the lines. She remained connected to my husband's ex on social media, which eventually led to the ex finding my profile and interacting with my posts, and even reaching out to my husband again.
Like, really, the key to all of this is, how is your husband handling this? Because if the reaction from your husband is like, oh my God, mom, shut up, I don't care about Brandy or whatever, like, whoever she is, just,
Yeah,
that's really the key, I think.
That whole situation made me feel disrespected and unprotected, even though it wasn't directly caused by her. There have also been moments for where I've felt minimized. For example, on Mother's Day, I sent her a card and a gift entirely from me. She later thanked my husband for it. Even though his name wasn't on anything, it felt small, but it stuck with me.
Right. It is. It's those little things where it's like, I'm not recognizing you. I'm not acknowledging you. I acknowledge you as an extension of my son.
More recently, she's made comments that crossed the line for me. When discussing the idea for future kids, she told me that my husband wouldn't know how to help me postpartum, but that she would be the best person to step in and help instead. It felt entitled and dismissive of both of us as partners.
That's probably coming more from whatever experience she had with her own pregnancies or whatever you were talking about earlier in the story that was uncomfortable.
She also makes comments about our home and our relationship that made me feel uncomfortable. She has gone through things in our house without explicitly asking, and I've overheard her telling my husband that if he hates something, he should tell me. I've also been told that she speaks negatively about me to others, framing normal changes in my husband's life as me changing him. Yeah, this is manipulation.
Yeah, 100%.
What worries me the most is watching her dynamic with my sister-in-law. Their relationship is very strained, and I've seen her criticize, bully, and pressure her, especially around access to the grandchildren. Seeing that plays out makes me scared that once I have kids, similar pressure and boundary pushing will come my way. There's also a financial piece that adds to my anxiety. Oh my God.
Man, there's a lot of pieces. A lot of pieces in this little stinky little mother-in-law puzzle.
I hope you outline everything you're saying in this post to your husband.
That, again, yeah, because that's where the difference is going to be made.
Yeah. In the past, my husband has lent her significant amounts of money. That stopped once we became a unit. But seeing her continue to spend frivolously and not plan for her future makes me afraid that financial responsibility will eventually fall on us, especially once we have children. She's also been through a health scare recently, which I have empathy for, but it's added another layer of emotional intensity and expectation. At one point, when I tried to be positive and express envy over a vacation she was gifted, she responded by telling me that if I chopped off my front airbags, maybe I'd get one too.
What does that even imply? Is it so? I mean, it's like, but like, why are we?
Pretty sure she had.
No, I mean, I know that, but I just mean like, why would we ever say that?
That comment really shook me and confirmed for me that something wasn't right in how she speaks to me. I don't hate her. I don't want estrangement. I want my husband to have a good relationship with his mom. I want her to be a loving grandmother someday. But I'm grieving the realization that my pregnancy and early motherhood experience may not be what I imagined, because I feel like I need to stay guarded and enforce boundaries instead of feeling supported. I'm trying to figure out whether I'm being too harsh or if my discomfort is a reasonable response to an ongoing boundary issue. I want peace, not chaos. I just don't know how to accept someone's limitations without letting resentment take over. And we have some comments here. Comment 1. Do you have your dear husband's support? Will he enforce boundaries? Opie says, yes, I do 100%. And he has in the past, specifically asking his mom to unfriend his ex and stop bringing her up. He also does an amazing job keeping our communication with her extremely minimal. Okay. We talk to
good.
her on the phone maybe once a month, and I see her 1 to 3 times a year. And she's still stressing you out this much? To the point where you're like contemplating even having kids?
Well, yeah, because she said that when I guess her
Brother-in-laws.
sister or when the other grandbaby arrived, she just ratcheted up the crazy. Can't imagine. Like, I don't know what that is, man. It's good. There's got to be some scholarly articles out there about
Like a chemical compound exploding in someone's mind.
like what is it that makes like new like grandmother or mother-in-law, whatever, what makes these people feel like so crazy once they have like a grandkid and they're like, this is mine.
Yeah, dude, because we read stories where they, put them in no contact and then they start crawling up from it whenever the grandbaby New birth.
I smell new blood. Ow.
What is that called, guys? Have you experienced it?
It's called The Evil the movie.
Comment 2. I think I would not stay in contact with her. I would be cordial those 1 to 3 times a year, but I won't be answering her calls or texts. Hubs can do that. But I would let him know that beyond, yes, wife is doing well, he shouldn't be sharing anything with her at all. If you get pregnant, she doesn't really need to know. Being a grandparent is a privilege, not a right, if it's not automatic. If you feel she will bulldoze you like she does your sister-in-law, I wouldn't let her be in the baby's life that much. Just make sure your husband feels the same way with that, and he can 100% be able to fight against the guilt trips and such she will definitely throw at him. Obi says, honestly, this is where I've landed as well. I've removed her from all social media except for Facebook. I think I'm going to start ignoring her calls and responding to her texts on my terms, and leave it to my husband to manage the relationship with his mother. I know he will support whatever I decide. I agree not telling her about future pregnancies is in my best interest. It just saddens me that it has to be this way. And we have an update.
Yeah, sometimes it sucks. But like it sounds like you're on the right path to like, peace and positivity in your own life, which is I mean, I don't know. I think clearly as long as you and your husband are on the same page here, I don't think that you're going to have a problem. I think the real problem would come from that. If it was like, but babe, like we gotta give her a chance, like she's not that bad.
Thank goodness you're not married to a mama's boy.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
Update. I posted here previously about my issues with my mother-in-law, and I wanted to share a quick update and ask for advice.
Dude, here we are, dude.
I didn't know when I last posted, but I'm actually pregnant.
Oh, baby.
She did it. They didn't pull out.
Did the thing.
It's very early, so please take everything with a grain of salt. That said, this has shifted a lot of our thinking around boundaries and family dynamics. One important thing I want to make clear. My husband has been incredible. He is supportive, attentive, fully on board, and is 100% aligned with me, which is the first step with this stuff, which, you know what? I got to take a moment.
We're
That's
there,
amazing.
dude. We're there. We're there. We won already.
This is what people wish for and want and pray for, and we got it.
Being on the same team, baby.
He's already prepared scripts and statements so his mom can't catch him off guard,
Fully prepared.
and he's ready to enforce boundaries as needed. I genuinely feel like we're a team in this, and he is fully prepared to become her primary point of contact. So her access to me will be extremely limited. He is also prepared to make that clear. Because of past behaviors, we are not planning to tell my mother-in-law about the pregnancy till around 20 to 24 weeks.
Yeah. Probably makes sense because if you told her immediately, she would be all up in your business perpetually, nonstop, being like, you should do this. Did you do that? What is that? What is this? Let me come. Let me touch your tummy. Let me see this. Let me get my ultrasound machine. Let me do the ultrasound. I'll do the ultrasound. Tell the technician I'll do it.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I brought my own cream.
I brought my own jelly. I made it at home.
The main reason we plan to tell her at all is because we would like to have a baby shower, and avoiding her indefinitely feels unrealistic for us. Otherwise, we are keeping this very private and low-key for our own peace. We are not even sharing our due date or how far along I am with her. And we will make it clear visits are not welcome unless invited when the time comes. And your time to come to your favorite podcast platform.
Well, maybe we don't have
now.
it actually. Maybe.
Come right now to Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or Spotify and listen to us as you do whatever. Just search up OK Storytime.
As you do whatever it is you want to do.
Come as you are.
We can't stop you, but I wouldn't encourage it.
We can't stop you. We can help you. We've helped a few people. Let us know if we've helped you before. Anyways, I'm posting because I'd really love to hear from others who've navigated pregnancy, postpartum, and parenting with a difficult or boundary challenged mother-in-law.
Nah, we don't not none of that here, man.
What boundaries worked for you? What do you wish you had done earlier? How did you protect your mental health during pregnancy and after birth? What conversational rules were non-negotiables for you? Like I said, my husband already has scripts ready, and I'm happy to share those if helpful, if anyone wants to give feedback. We are also fully prepared to go no contact if, realistically, when she crosses a line. Right now, I'm mostly looking for lived experiences, lessons learned, and any advice from people who have been there.
All right.
And that ain't us.
Yeah, but we might have some comments.
Comment 1 says, OP, in your last post, your mother-in-law told you to chop off your front airbags off if you wanted a vacation like hers. I keep wondering why she said that and how your spouse responded to that statement. OP says that's an excellent question. She had a double
Mastectomy.
as a
Preventative.
measure for stage 1 front airbag. Very slow
Mistasis.
score, but her choice ultimately. Her place of work gifted her a free vacation as a recovery present. I was trying to get her on a positive conversation path. She could be pretty negative at times and was really hyping up the vacation, even when saying, I'm so jealous, which is what made her tell me to chop off my front airbags. I responded by saying, you experienced a very unique situation. And my husband went, ha, we have to be nice talking to you.
No, we have to go. We have to go.
We
Nice
have
talking to you.
not talked to her since, but she did ask if her and I could have a once a week phone call, like talked about. We never talked about it. So I told her I can stay close and connected because my husband calls her every few months, and I think she sees me as a way to be closer to him. I told her no, and that it wasn't realistic for me. And her and I have not talked since that. That's it. That's the end of the story.
And that is that. My husband raised my twins for years. They turned on him the moment their bio dad showed up.
Oh boy, that's a tricky situation.
I know the title sounds bad, but for some context, I, 36 female, have twins with my ex, 42 male, a girl, Olivia, and a boy, Enzo, who are now 16 years old. By the way, this comes from user GlitteringHumor802. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Angie, and this is Ellen. Hi.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers to all the problems. So let us know what you would do in the comments, because we only know what we would do. And OP says, my ex is one heck of an a-hole. We ended our relationship because he had cheated on me while I was pregnant. Classic. And not happy with that. He never paid child support and was absent from their lives most of the time, only coming back once or twice during the year to play the fun dad. But, well, of course, his absence affected my kids a lot. Anyway, when Olivia and Enzo were 1 year old, I reconnected with an ex from high school, Ian, 36 male, and we started dating. The main reason we had broken up is that I wanted kids in the future and he wasn't sure. And since 2 seemed more than enough for me, that problem was out of the way. Do you not know how kids work? Like, he's gonna have to be a presence in their life.
Yeah, like, just because they're not biologically his, if you guys start dating and if he, like, lives with you or something, you're gonna need to be taking care of some kids.
Yeah, just letting you know. Ian wasn't involved at first with Olivia and Enzo, but after we moved in together over 2 years later, he began to help me with them without me having to ask, which I was really grateful for. And they eventually formed a bond. We got married, and Olivia and Enzo called Ian Dad for as long as I can remember, although they always knew he wasn't their biological father. Ian and I make the same amount of money, and we live in a house I inherited from my father, and Ian only earns a bit less than me. There is not a big difference. With time, my ex went from showing up once or twice a year to not showing up at all for a couple years, which is when their bond became even stronger. And Ian told me he wanted to adopt them because he saw them as his own kids, and he truly felt like their father.
Aww. That's cute, right? I know he didn't originally want kids, but if he feels like that now, right?
However, that never actually happened because it was a legal mess in our country we didn't want to get into. Now, last year, and out of the blue, my ex showed up again, claiming to be a different man now and wanting to rekindle their relationship. They fell for his act, despite Ian and I warning them about not trusting him completely, which is okay, I guess. They have a right to want a relationship with him. The problem started when they began to ignore Ian. It's like they were treating him like a replacement they no longer needed. And of course, my husband noticed this. One night it escalated because they were having a really dumb fight that started because Enzo had not cleaned the kitchen after cooking. And we have this important rule in the house that pretty much means that each one is usually responsible for cleaning their own mess. And, well, Ian just went inside the room to tell him he needed to clean, and Enzo began to yell at him.
Boy.
Olivia joined in, and they were telling him how exhausted they were about Ian treating them as if he were their real father.
Oh.
That they had a father, and he shouldn't act like one just because he didn't have kids of their own.
Wait, what? I kind of just assumed that they felt the same way. He felt like he was their father and they felt like he was their father. But that's not the case? Question mark?
You know what? Honestly, though, it's a hard ask, but I think if I'm Ian, I just gotta go, all right, I'll be here. I'll be here when your dad disappears again.
Oh, shoot.
You go ahead and let me know what that feels like when it happens.
Oh, shoot.
I ain't going anywhere.
I mean, honestly, yeah, that is true. That is true. I see what you're saying. At first, I was thinking you were saying, like, I'm not going to be here until your dad leaves again, and then I'll be back. But I see what you mean.
Yeah.
See who stays, see who leaves.
Yeah. I say, oops. Oh, but I'm not your real dad. What are you talking to me for?
Right, right.
And then I would drop that and be like, and now you see why we said, be careful with that guy.
Yeah.
They're 16.
Yeah.
I remember Ian just left the house that night without saying a word, and I told Olivia and Enzo that they made the wrong choice treating Ian like this. And when their real dad leaves again, I don't want to see them crawling back to the one who actually took care of them and was always there. Ian came back the next day, and he was incredibly upset. I did my best to comfort him, and he told me he felt disrespected and that there was no coming back from this.
Oh, boy.
No!
No.
Oh, no! It was hard to hear, but I told him that if he no longer wanted to be involved in the twins' lives, I wouldn't be angry at him. He cried a lot that night and cried himself to sleep during the next days.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man, this is the same energy as, like, the dad who's like, we're not getting a dog. Gets the dog loves him. But in
Yeah.
this case, the dog, like, is sentient and decides to leave him.
And says, you're not my real dad. You're
Yeah.
not even a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
It was awful to see him like this, and I couldn't do anything but try to comfort him. I tried to talk to my kids to tell them they really needed to apologize, but they refused completely, saying they had a dad and didn't need him. And it made me question what kinds of kids I was raising.
Oh.
As predicted, from one day to the other, Bio-Dad left the city and never called Olivia or Enzo again. I was there for the kids, but it shocked me how they wanted to pretend everything was just okay between them and Ian and calling him dad again. Ian simply told them he was not their dad and would clearly never be. This has been going on for a while. They were thinking Ian would change his mind eventually and forgive them, but that has not happened. As a last resort, they came to me and told me to speak to Ian, and I told them we had talked many times, and it was clear Ian would no longer be involved in their lives, which is what they wanted anyway, so I don't know what the problem was. They were shocked with my response and kept trying to convince me, but I made clear that my husband is a human with feelings, not a wallet and a replacement for the pathetic man they liked to call real dad, and that if they thought they could disrespect people that care for them without any consequences, then they were very, very wrong. I told them there was no going back from this, that things would not be the same, and they had themselves to blame for that. They shouldn't have taken for granted a person that was always there for them. They went crying to my mom after that, and she told me she understood why I was upset with them, but couldn't side with my husband in this, that they are kids that made a mistake and a second chance should be given, and I should try to solve things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I do think it needs to start with your kids.
Think.
It can't be like the husband just goes, okay, and now I forgive you because I'm Ian and I'm so cool. It needs to be like Olivia and Enzo making some kind of, gesture to him at least. Be like, yeah, we were really wrong. We really did mess up.
Mm-hmm.
And not even being like, so now forgive us. It needs to be like, we did mess up. So we understand why you might never forgive us. But we hope that you do.
That's interesting. I don't
Because
know.
we understand. We were blinded by, that's a blinding thing.
No, totally. But I feel like, they can totally apologize and like try to make it up to Ian. But at the end of the day, even though they're 16, they're like not children, but they are the kids in this situation,
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why I would want Ian to kind of make that start and just be like, hey, like, I know you probably didn't mean it. This did really hurt. It might be a little bit different right now, but I do want to rebuild that. I don't know. And then the kids, I think, should still apologize. Sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would say it needs to start with them necessarily.
Yeah. I mean, if his perspective won't change. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway. My mom said I should try to solve things. But to be honest, I don't think I can. I love my kids and they will always be my priority. And this has not changed my love for them. But I also love my husband. And he's such a great man who stepped up when he didn't have an obligation to. And was such a support for me and for the kids. He was the father they never had for so long, and even if I try, I don't think I'm even close to knowing the amount of pain that can cause you to have. That the kids that you raised as your own for years tell you that you're not their real dad and to treat you as literal trash. As much as I want them to make up, I know my husband is so hurt, and they caused that over what? A man they had seen barely 7 times in their whole life? You're missing the point.
Yeah.
You're missing the point. These kids have known forever that they don't have a real, quote-unquote, real dad. Then their quote-unquote real dad comes back. Here it is. Dream come true. Everything's happening. Yep, I got my real dad now. Shut up, fake dad. Don't make me do the dishes. You're not my real dad. You're fake dad. My real dad's here. I'm on top of the world now.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is clearly that guy's a scumbag, and they were blown out by the revelation that he was back. And they believed he'd be back. But y'all knew better. Because you're not 16.
Yes.
And y'all haven't been waiting for him to come back your whole life.
Exactly.
So, but then it also makes sense that he is so hurt.
Totally.
Because imagine, you raised kids for 15 years, essentially.
Right.
And then the moment their scumbag dad comes back, they go, we don't even care about you. We don't love you. You don't love us. You're not our real dad. We don't even care about you. You can't talk to us.
Right.
I'd be like, oh, did I waste a decade and a half of my life? That's crazy.
Yeah. I think maybe everyone just needs like a beat. Maybe everyone just needs some time away from each other, and then they'll come back and be like, yeah, no, I love you. I freaking love you guys. Yeah. Maybe everyone will just come together. Because it's understandable that both people are hurt, but we both need to move past that and still forgive for what we can, and forgive the others, or apologize for what we can and for what we need to, and forgive the others for what we can. Everyone freaking make up. I'm freaking sick of it. God. Get over it. I mean, in your own time, but blah.
So, OP continues. Ian is now convinced that Enzo and Olivia don't love him and only saw him as a replacement, a temporary replacement. And he thinks that if their real dad ever shows up again, they would just treat him the same way. And well, although I don't think my kids would do that, I know he has every right to feel that way. And if Ian no longer feels comfortable involved in my kid's life, then I don't think I can contradict him. They just broke the relationship.
Well, they didn't.
So
do not blame the kids for that. Oh my gosh.
No, their relationship, not OP. But I was going to say though, I think OP's talking about the relationship between the kids and Ian.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would very much question, like, okay, so what happens now? We're married, but you don't want anything to do with my kids who are still 16 living at home?
Yeah.
How is this going to work?
Yeah. Great question.
Ian is usually a pretty reasonable man, and he has thought a lot about this, so I know that he's sure about his choice. I know he has been crushed with this, and now he wants us to have a kid. But I have told him no, because I believe he just wants to replace Olivia and Enzo. Despite respecting my husband's decision, I don't want my kids to lose the man they've seen as their father ever since they can remember. I know it's going to crush them, and it will affect them even more in the future, And sometimes I wonder if I should listen to my mom and try to talk Ian into trying to repair their relationship. But I don't know. Am I the a-hole? I mean, if you just sit back and go, nothing I can do about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes you an a-hole, but it certainly makes you very misguided.
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't. I can't really get past the fact that these guys are 16 and Ian's the adult in this situation. I understand that he can be hurt by this. Like, that is so fair. But at the same time, I don't know. Like, my 2-year-old niece hurt me when she said she didn't want to play with me.
Yeah.
That sucked.
You gotta be when you're a full-grown adult, you gotta be a bigger person than the teenagers or the 2-year-old.
You can't get on their level.
However,
Exactly.
it does, I still think, need to start from them. Ian can't go to them and be like, I am going to accept you. They need to be able to have the awareness that, like, we actually really did something wrong and need to come as, like, what's the word? Not apologetically, but, like, I mean, yeah, I guess apologetically.
Mm-hmm.
There's a different word I'm thinking of, but.
I see what you mean, though. And then maybe, Mom, you need to guide them through that. Don't do it for them, but, like, guide them. Just be like, everything will be okay. Just like, we can take accountability for our actions. It's a complicated situation. I understand why you did it, but we're going to move forward. You know what I mean? Like, Mom, that's what you need to do now. Lead them through.
We do have an update, though. So, I know it's been a while since I last posted. I had even forgotten about it, to be honest. But I opened Reddit today and figured I could update since things have changed these past months. Although I doubt anyone remembers it. But I'm going to start by saying that despite the accusations I received of being too harsh on my kids here, I consider my actions good by not coddling them and not taking their side. Not because I wanted them to suffer, but I wanted to show them actions have consequences and that you can't just walk over anyone and you can't take any relationship for granted. However, I did let them know things hadn't changed between us and that I loved them just as much and that nothing would ever change that and that I wanted to help them heal from everything.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Therapist, though. Therapy. Heal them with therapy.
There you go.
Heal them with a therapist that all 4 of you go to.
Yeah.
I don't remember mentioning it, but my kids went to therapy to deal with certain issues when they were young, but stopped going because they felt like they didn't need it anymore, and the therapist even said so. But after everything that's happened, I came to the obvious conclusion that they were too vulnerable to manipulation, and that their biofather's actions had affected them worse than I thought. So I tried to convince them to go back. You're so off base for being like vulnerable to manipulation. The 2 kids who never knew their dad are vulnerable to being manipulated by that guy? Every kid on earth would be vulnerable to that.
So do you agree with her putting them back into therapy?
Well,
then?
I mean, yeah, sure, but like,
yeah.
It's not like, whatever. I don't know. It's weird.
It's like, well, duh.
Anyway, it was hard, but I did manage to convince Olivia at first, and then she convinced Enzo. And it did take some time, but they began to slowly heal. They made progress, and they both wrote 2 different long messages to Ian, acknowledging what they did was wrong and apologizing for everything.
Oh,
and
wow.
explaining why they did it and telling him they regret what they've done to him.
Wow.
Yay, we did the thing.
Wow.
We did that thing that we had to do. Now let's see what Ian says. Of course, this didn't fix things. Dang it.
Dang it.
Things did not go back to normal, but Ian accepted the apology, and they have been cordial ever since.
Okay, well, that's good.
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
So, as I mentioned in the last post, what they said and did affected my husband terribly. He also started therapy, and he opened up to me about everything. It took a while for him to go back to his old self, but he did, and we decided to take a 1-month vacation to get away from things. Ian and I are better than ever, to be honest. He was really thankful I had supported him, and he told me he didn't think he could have gotten out of that hole if it wasn't for me. When it comes to the talk about having kids, we've been discussing it seriously. He mentioned at first that he thinks it did come out as a suggestion that came from all the hurt that Olivia and Enzo put him through, but that he's been talking about it with his therapist and came to the conclusion that he does want kids of his own.
Oh.
The only reason why he thought he didn't want to be one was because his father was terrible and was terrified of repeating patterns.
Ah. Makes sense.
But with Olivia and Enzo, he had learned he really wanted to be one. But since he had them, he didn't think he'd want to have any more. Now he lost them and wants to know what it is to have a kid he can raise, take care of, and to love each other.
Aww.
I think maybe him having a scumbag dad also, I think, clues us into why he was so upset that Olivia and Enzo chose their scumbag dad.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because he was probably trying to, like, be the complete opposite. And so he's probably thinking, like,
Right.
oh, well, that's not even good enough.
Right. It's like, so I do all the opposite stuff of my scumbag father.
Yeah.
And then as soon as scumbag number one shows up,
Right.
oh, I'm chopped liver.
Yeah.
So maybe I should have just been scumbag the whole time, huh?
Right.
Huh.
That makes so much sense that there was more to this because it just did not feel like enough to be this hurt by it.
Yeah.
But that obviously makes sense. There's more to this story.
So we discussed it for a couple of weeks and then started trying, and I found out I was pregnant last month.
Oh my gosh.
That means you're going to have a baby.
What?
Ian has been really happy. Even Enzo and Olivia are excited to have a sibling, which is quite unexpected. And I'm honestly scared to have to give birth again because it wasn't that nice of an experience. But I want to have another kid. Anyway, like I mentioned, Ian, Enzo, and Olivia are now cordial. Sadly, I doubt they can rebuild what they had. I doubt that. But I guess only time will tell if there's a chance for Ian to change his mind. Enzo and Olivia were pretty sad with dealing with the fact that things may not go back to what they were with Ian. But I've told them they need to focus on themselves right now. They finished secondary school last year and will start university in March, so they will move to the capital next week. I told them to focus on their lives, their friends, and their career, and let time heal some wounds. And by the way, if you've got time, we've got episodes full of stories just like this that you can listen to on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever. Just go search OK Storytime wherever you're listening to podcasts.
Yep.
Do it now.
Do it.
But there's a little bit more story here. Ian, forgive your children. That's what being a parent is, kind of.
Honestly, Ian, I forgave my 2-year-old niece when she said she didn't want to play with me because she's 2 and she's figuring it out, all right?
We're all in therapy again.
Yeah.
We've all got feelings. They're all valid.
Yeah.
So were the kids.
And guess what? She grew up and then she wanted to play. And then we all had a great time. All right?
I'm never going to forgive my little brothers for what they've done to me.
Which is being taller than you?
No.
Oh.
You know how many times they used to hit me?
Yeah, but did you just stand there?
How many
No.
times did you hit them, though?
That doesn't matter.
Does a suplex count as a hit? I feel like
No.
I feel like you were doing suplexes.
Yeah, so we're fine. They were hitting me. I'm fine.
Tactical suplex. Anyway, we got a little bit left of this story. Let's finish it. The only thing they can do now is hope it gets better and finally learn that no matter how badly they want to believe otherwise, their bio father is a terrible father and a terrible man that wants to do nothing but manipulate them, and they need to stand up for themselves. So this is pretty much it for now. If anything else changes, I may edit this if I remember to do so. Thanks for all the nice comments on the last post. Goodbye. I feel like now we're punishing the kids because their dad sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
No,
well,
totally.
no matter how much they want to fix it, they have to live with the fact that their dad sucks. And it's like, why is that now their fault?
That's very, very frustrating. Because, yeah, like, even if 16 is definitely old enough to learn about, conflict resolution. Obviously, like, with tougher situations. Obviously, younger ages can do that too. But, like, I understand that you don't want to totally coddle them because they are 16. Like, they can know when they messed up and they can handle, a little bit more of adult situations. But, yeah, Ian surely can. And I know he's going through his own stuff, but it needs to be the kind of thing where it's like, hey, yeah, that hurt. I know you didn't mean it. I accept your apology. I appreciate it. Let's go back to normal. There's other things I'm working on, but I don't want you to worry about that because they're the kids in this situation.
Right.
No matter what age they get to, they are the kids, So
Yeah.
My parents forbid dating my entire life. Now they're impatient because I'm single.
Well, isn't that just how the cookie crumbles?
This has always confused me as someone who grew up in a very traditional and old-fashioned Chinese family in an area with tons of other East Asian immigrants. My friends and cousins and I all have the same exact experience with our parents. I have no clue where this comes from. By the way, this comes from Winter Camera 733, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Angie.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. My parents were very intense helicopter parents when my siblings and I were growing up. They always scolded us to never speak to a person of the opposite gender, even at school. What?
Do not speak. Do not look. Do not date.
Yeah, they're like helicopter. They're like, we're about to land. Please do not speak to any woman at school. Thank you very much.
And then while she's gone, they're like,
Yeah.
I've got eyes on OP. Oh, she just avoided eye contact with the boy. Mission accomplished.
Very good, very good. This will help her later in life. They forbade going to school dances because it was improper, and we might risk interacting with boys.
Oh my goodness, a boy?
A boy in my school dance?
How dare they be near?
I have an excellent solution.
Yep.
All girls school.
There you go.
Why didn't we send your kid to why did we send your kid to co-ed school when they're not allowed to talk to boys?
That's a very stupid thing for you guys to do, parents.
I don't
You're
understand.
stupid.
Even a mention of dating was out of the question. Once my dad even scolded me when my sister spoke to a boy who was our neighbor for 5 minutes out on the sidewalk near our house. LMAO. My mother scolded me when my younger sister was a bridesmaid for her college roommate because, gasp, she'd be walking down the aisle next to a person of the male gender. So
This
she's
is
like
insane.
a full adult at that point.
Yes.
This is really weird.
This is too much, guys.
Obviously, my parents are on the very extreme end of the spectrum, but I've observed this same exact irrational and bizarre expectation and attitude from so many of my fellow Chinese, Viet, Korean, and Indian friends growing up. I'm sure it exists in many other cultures as well. I've just had a few testimonies from my closest friends. They forbid dating, then out of nowhere, one day they start scolding about, why aren't you married? Why don't they have grandkids? How am I supposed to get married if I can't talk to anyone?
Even when you're an adult.
They actually just really want kids. They're like, you can't talk to anybody of the opposite gender.
No.
You have to be married, though.
Everything you wear has to be multicolored, including all 6 colors of the rainbow.
And you have to get a wolf cut.
Yes.
Those are the rules.
You must get a wolf cut.
You look too straight.
And nose piercings.
But where was your husband and wife supposed to come from? My sisters are now married, and funny enough, I turned out super ace and don't actually have any interest in dating or marriage.
Well, look what you did, parents.
Yeah, that is fully on you guys.
This is what happens.
Mhm.
Which, I mean, obviously it's not a bad thing, but it's
No.
like, well, yeah.
And now my parents are pressuring me to find a husband. I did date in college when I finally got away from them, but realized I don't have interest in it and don't like anyone that way. I have explained that their wish came true. I will not be talking to any boys. And they got upset, saying I'm almost 30 and need to find a husband soon. They're not satisfied with my sister's marriages either, because my first sister married a Korean man, so he's not Chinese, and my second sister married an ethnically Chinese man whose parents grew up in Vietnam, so they don't speak Mandarin. But where does this logic come from? My parents did not have arranged marriages. They hate each other and never got along. They didn't have an arranged marriage, but they hate each other.
Yeah, that was like the one thing that I was thinking. That was the only reason I could think of. Is
Yeah.
like if they're used to arranged marriages, then it's
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, don't flirt or be romantic with each other at all, but just,
Yeah.
you know, just get a husband. Just find, pick one.
find one.
Pick
anyone.
one and make babies.
Doesn't matter.
So, I mean, maybe they liked each other at some point.
Yeah.
But
They're like, you don't even have to like your partner.
yeah, it's fine.
They met at work back in China and were both single and tired, so just decided to get married to get it over with. That's so funny.
There you go.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know. I didn't
Yeah.
marry your father for love. I married him because he was there.
Yeah, it's like finding a job. You just get one that works. It
Yeah.
just works for your situation, and that's it. No
Exactly.
emotions involved.
Of course not.
No positive ones, anyway.
No, surely not. How do they think we have suddenly lined up a spouse already after years of not allowing socializing or dating? Why is it so common with immigrant parents? Does anyone else experience the same thing? It's honestly so strange, and I don't understand their logic at all. And we've got some comments. Any thoughts?
I mean, I don't have immigrant parents,
Yeah.
so I can't really like relate.
Can't tell ya.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you, but I mean, you know, you hear about stereotypes and people's experiences.
Yeah.
I've heard something about things like that, so I'm sure you're not alone.
I think you just, continue the way you're continuing OP, and you're probably going to get some flack, but it
Yeah.
seems like they're not going to, disown you. So
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You're not
Yeah.
gonna marry someone.
Comment 1 says, there was a comedian actor from Pakistan, Kamal, who had a great answer for this. Why did you move to the West if you didn't want me to have a Western life? OP says, I remembered when I was a child, my parents scolded me when they saw I was watching some Disney Channel show because it was too Western. I don't know what they wanted me to watch at the age of 8. Traditional Chinese soap operas? You can only watch American Dragon, Jake Long.
There you go.
It's a great Chinese-American story, but maybe
I'll
that
trust
is
you.
also too American.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
It's if it's any American at all.
Tough.
I wonder what channels those would be on then. If you would
The
like,
Chinese operas.
yeah,
I don't know.
because that's what I'm thinking is like if you've got American cable,
Yeah.
what you know what I mean? I feel like it's a little harder perhaps to find those, especially when you're 8 years old.
Yeah, not much open to you. Comment 2 says, we didn't have a TV at all growing up, but my very religious American born and raised parents would wig out if their preteen teenage daughters read books with characters who kissed. Ugh! Kissing? Ew. OP says, ha! Sounds like my parents. One time, my dad and uncles walked in the living room when me and my cousin were watching a Disney Channel or Nickelodeon movie. We were in middle school and the characters were like at prom or like slow dancing or something. And my dad screamed that it was too much for us. We were 13. It's too much close proximity with those dances.
Too intimate.
But we've got episodes, and they're not too mature, so go listen to them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. Just search up OK Storytime.
Not all of them, anyway.
Not all of them are too mature. But we've got some comments. Any final thoughts?
I mean, yeah, OP's an adult, right? This is out of
Yes.
college. Yeah.
30.
So, yeah, that's right. I don't really, I guess, know how you would deal with it. I'm guessing you just kind of got to hunker down and
Yeah.
just be like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever.
Okay, whatever you say.
Yeah,
And that's kind of it.
exactly.
Comment 3 says, because you're simply an extension of their desires, they do not see you as a separate entity. OP says, yeah, but even as a Sims character for them to control, how would the character even suddenly find a spouse out of nowhere? Like, where could they even have imagined it to appear from? Comment 4 says, you're looking for logic from irrational people. You might as well ask a fish to make you a glass of lemonade. OP says, pretty sure the fish would come up with lemonade before my parents become rational. Ooh, burn.
Burn.
Love it. But that's the end of that story, folks.
Wow.
And we've got another one coming right up. My husband kept giving my expensive belongings to his kids without asking me.
I pay for those. Mine.
I, female 31, married my husband, male 48, a year ago. He has 3 kids from a previous marriage, ages 13 to 17. They're great kids. We overall have a fun, healthy relationship. The kid's biological mother is in the picture, so I'm more the fun aunt type person. By the way, this comes from Not My Car Kid, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia,
I'm Savannah.
and we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So if you know what you would do, put in the comments. My husband is not a materialistic guy. He isn't into buying new cars or higher-end fashion. I do like driving a nice car, and I like fancy clothes. I work from home and spend on decorating, so I'm happy in the space I spend the most time in. We share most finances, so there's a reasonable fiscal argument to be made for what's mine is yours. But recently, I've pushed back on a habit my husband has that's increased in frequency. He'll loan things of mine out to my stepkids I'm not necessarily comfortable with handing over. An example would be a theme day my stepdaughter had at school. Husband gave her an expensive pair of my sunglasses, a leather jacket, and higher-end boots to dress up in. I didn't realize she had them until they came back from her mom's house the next week. The sunglasses were scratched and the boots were absolutely filthy. What did she do in the boots? Husband shrugged it off as kids will be kids, and that's why we don't let them borrow expensive things. I asked that I be asked before things are taken out of my closet, and husband suggested I not create boundaries that make the kids feel like they aren't a part of the family. The incident that prompted this post is in regard to my vehicle. I bought what would be considered a luxury SUV this past year, and yesterday at dinner, our oldest comes in with his friends, and they're all going on and on about how cool it'll be to roll into their summer fling. Prom was canceled thanks to the pandemic. The kids are doing a summer substitute party in my vehicle. I pulled husband aside, and he said he told stepson to take it because it's a fancy, once in his high school career opportunity to feel adult and show off a little. The car's insured, so what's the big idea? I told him I would have liked to be consulted, and I would also like some time to consider the logic of letting a kid who's had his driver's license barely a year get behind the wheel of $100,000 plus auto packed with his buddies.
Yeah, no. No, my mom doesn't even let me drive her car still.
Same.
Like, my mom's like, you're not touching my car. Go drive your dad's Ford F-150.
Yeah, my parents do
truck.
not let me drive their cars.
Yeah,
I'm a good driver.
my dad lets all of us drive his car now. But my brother, never.
Yeah.
He will not let me touch his car. My sisters, we just kind of all...
My brother lets me drive his car, but also that's mostly he's not here. I reminded husband my things don't always get returned to me in good condition. He argued that having kids means things will sometimes get ruined. His thought is I shouldn't spend on things if I'm not okay with them getting worn or damaged. Maybe I'm being selfish, but I don't feel like it's fair to tell me nice things aren't worth buying or keeping nice, but then constantly wanting to use said things precisely because they're nice. Am I the a-hole for asking to be consulted before my vehicle was offered to my stepson and reserving the right to veto my husband if I decide I'm just not comfortable? I don't want to be that stepmom, but this situation also reeks of a certain level of hypocrisy. And there is an update. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, it is hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, oh, well then, if you don't care about ruining stuff, then use your own stuff.
Ruin your
You know?
own stuff.
Instead of
Great
my,
point.
like,
Nice
designer
stuff.
things.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
there's an easy fix here. And
Yeah.
you obviously just want them to, like, I don't know why you, like, want them to, like, I don't see the correlation
Yeah.
between, like, oh, like, I don't know, I want to show off how much money I have, like, my 16-year-old's going to drive your car. That's like $1,000 billion. And
Yeah. And also 13 and 17, again, that is too old to not have consequences, you know?
yeah, oh my god.
Like, we don't
Yeah.
have to be like, you're a horrible person, you're in, like, trouble forever, but we do have to say, hey, when you borrow people's things, you have to take care of them.
Yeah.
You're old enough to know that.
I mean, I've been taking care of 8-year-olds, and it was really hard for them to, like, actually take accountability. Still.
Anyway, we've got an update. After sifting through the near overwhelming number of comments, the most positive advice I received was to address the issue from the standpoint of individual feelings and respect versus focusing on the monetary value of my concerns or on the items themselves. I told my husband that while I appreciate his family's approach to pooled stuff, when someone leaves me out of the conversation involving my items or things I care about, I feel the exact opposite. I don't feel included, rather like I've been left out of the inner circle altogether, and I stressed how much open communication means to me. I told my husband I'm not going to ask him to understand my position, but I am going to insist he respect it. By the way, I hope if you respect us that you listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up Okay Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I mean, I would just say stop using my stuff. And if you want to, use someone's stuff, use your own.
Yeah,
Ruin
use
your
your
own
own.
stuff.
Use your
Or buy them, like, not designer stuff. And
That's
just
it.
buy them, like, cheap, off-brand, whatever. They're literally that. My
Yeah.
mom has never, I don't think, bought an on-brand thing. And we always kid. Not that I need brand
You don't need to
things, I
buy
don't.
brand things for
But-
children.
Yeah,
You don't
exactly.
need to
Yeah,
do that.
for children, like, yeah. And honestly, for adults, too.
No one needs
Just,
to.
like, you can, I don't know. I always, like, I can make it.
But we got a little bit left. At first, he wanted to steer the conversation back toward the actual stuff, and he commented he never worried about something getting broken or damaged because he knows I can easily replace it out of our pooled finances. I stressed again that it wasn't about the stuff, it wasn't about the cost, it was about laying the responsibility of having to go clean up after someone else at my feet, when the situation could be avoided entirely with a few simple parameters and expectations in the first place. I pointed out that I don't put responsibilities on him without asking first, And that's what he was doing to me by being so cavalier with my things. That he got. The light bulb came on, he apologized, and we have a plan moving forward. Okay.
Well, good.
Okay.
I'm glad he gets it. I'm glad it just took.
Yeah,
It
too
took-
long. It took a whole Reddit story
It
for him to
took
get
him
it.
just like empathy.
Yeah, he's like, wow.
Wait,
Wait, your things mean something to you?
Wait.
I don't
thought you
know.
bought them for everyone.
Yeah, I thought it was sharing is caring thing. As for the SUV specifically, husband pulled stepson aside and said he spoke too soon. He hadn't consulted me about the vehicle first, and after we talked about it more, we both had some decent-sized concerns about him taking it. We ended up hiring one of my husband's friend's sons, who is in college and works as an Uber driver, to chauffeur in my SUV that evening. He'll take the kids to dinner, he'll take them to where they're having their photos done, and then back and forth to the party. Cool?
Boom. So everything got solved
All
very
right.
easily with communication.
Yeah,
Who
okay,
would have
okay.
freaking thought?
I refused to name my baby after my late husband, and my mother-in-law hated it.
It's time for new life, okay?
Me, 31, and my current husband, 35.
Right, not the d- one.
I was picturing that as like there could be another in the future.
I mean, there could.
Me, 31, and my current husband, 35, recently found out that we were expecting twin boys, and my first husband's mother is livid that we aren't naming one of them after her son. A little background: my first husband, Michael, and I were college sweethearts. We got married not long after graduation, and I thought I would be with him for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, we were only married for a couple of months before Michael passed suddenly.
Oh.
By the way, this comes from STN0071. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And OP says, "It was one of the worst times in my life, and I never thought that I would ever fall in love again, much less get married again or have a family. I remained very close with Michael's mom, my mother-in-law, and she was very supportive when I eventually started dating again. Not long after I met my current husband, John, I took him to her house so that they could meet. She was so excited to meet him, and I remember going to the bathroom and crying tears of relief that she wasn't angry at me for moving on. When John and I got married, she was so happy for me. And on my wedding day, she took me aside and told me that she knew Michael was happy for me too. It meant so much to me to hear her say that. Earlier this year, John and I found out that we were pregnant. At first, mother-in-law was ecstatic, making jokes about being a bonus grandma, and even asking to help plan the gender reveal party and baby shower. But then, when the subject of names came up, she was shocked that we weren't planning to name the baby after Michael. I explained to her that if it was a boy, we were going to name him after John's father. I could tell she wasn't happy, but she seemed to accept it. Things took a turn for the worse after my 20-week ultrasound, when we found out that I was carrying twin boys. When I told her the news, she flat out told me that I had to name one of the babies after Michael or she would never forgive me.
Oh, no. You have to give me $1 million or I'll never forgive you.
When I told her that we weren't going to do that, she absolutely flipped, saying that I was betraying the memory of her son.
Maybe you could have been like, okay. I won't name any of them Michael, but I'll name one Mike and I'll name one L. Mike L.
Mikael.
Mikael. Maybe there's some fun solutions here.
Because technically we've got like 4 name opportunities, because we got the middle names too.
We can name him Mickey. You can name him Misha.
Okay, ready? First kid, Miska Muska. Second kid, Mickey Mouse.
Miska Muska Mickey Mouse. Mimu for short.
That's the first name, middle name, first name, middle name. I tried to make her understand that as much as I love and miss Michael, that chapter of my life is over. And I feel like it's disrespectful to John to insist on naming one of his children after another man. At first, John said that he would be fine with it, if it was what I wanted, but eventually he admitted that the idea made him uncomfortable. So the first kid's gonna be John the third?
Yeah, they're naming him after
John's father.
the father.
I guess John's father's not necessarily named John.
I think we should get like a Frank Zappa style, Name one of them Dweezil. Name one of them Moon Unit,
Yeah, Keon.
Yeah.
Keon, but add more vowels.
Name one of them,
What
just
other
name one
vowels
of
can we
them
get in there?
Ocean Sunfish.
Kein. K-L-A-O-N.
Kiaoyuan.
Name him Klingon.
One of them's just silent.
Klingor.
I never want to make my mother-in-law think that I've forgotten Michael or that he wasn't important to me, but I don't want to name one of my children after him either. And honestly, I don't think he would have wanted me to. There are better ways of remembering him than giving his name to a child that will never have any real connection to him. I tried explaining this to mother-in-law, but she just wouldn't hear it. She told me that she would never speak to me again if I didn't name one of the babies after her son. She's been a really important part of my life, and I don't want to lose her. But at the same time, I feel like she's giving me an unfair ultimatum. Am I the a-hole? And we have an update.
You are. You should just do whatever anyone asks of you. That's the way to be. I don't know, man. She's having a mental breakdown over this.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I would just gently explain to her, like, well, this isn't happening. If you really want to throw our relationship away entirely just because of this, I can't stop you, but I do think that would be ridiculous.
Especially because it's like you were married to her son, so you're a connection to her son. So she'd be throwing away her last connection to someone else who, like,
Yeah.
actively loved her son as much.
Exactly. It's
I mean,
just
maybe not the
like
last connection, but a big one.
there's the wires are getting crossed. There's a malfunction going on in the critical thinking center.
Do you think OP did name it Michael? Mother-in-law would be like, oh, my baby Michael, like.
I was a little worried about that.
It would be weird. She'd be doing weird stuff for sure.
Or at least maybe favoring a twin or
100%.
something.
Let's
Oh,
be
yeah.
honest. She'd be doing weird stuff, man.
She'd be like, oh, I just want to hold Michael, not the other one. Update. Wow, I'm blown away by all the feedback and support. We are hosting in-laws, John's parents. I want to know what John's dad's name is. By chance, John's dad is just named Michael.
John's dad's name is Michael. What are some other names very close to Michael?
Shakira.
Yep.
Shakira?
The closest one to Michael, guys.
Closest one to Michael might be just like Zykel.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, are you here?
I haven't been bullied by Ezekiel in a long time.
For now, I just want to address a few things I saw in the comments. A lot of you wanted clarification as to how long Michael has been gone. It will be 10 years this October. And no, Michael is not his real name. Any names that I've included in this post have been changed to protect anonymity.
So his name really might be Shakira.
That might be closest thing. Oh, Marshall. That's pretty close.
Marcia Stewart.
Marshall.
Mathers.
A lot of you also wondered why I'm still close with his mother after so long. I probably should have included this in the original post for context, but there are a couple reasons for this. Michael was an only child, shut up, and his father was never in the picture. And she has virtually no other family left besides a handful of cousins who live across the country. Over the years, she's been my steadfast supporter, always the first to encourage me to live my life and be happy. Funnily enough, I might not have met John if it wasn't for her. A friend of mine had set me up with him on a blind date, and I almost backed out. The only reason I didn't was because my ex-mother-in-law convinced me to go. Honestly, she is the last person I ever would have expected this from, which is why I found it so hard to deal with. A lot of you have said this is probably her being forced to finally deal with a lot of unprocessed grief, and I think that's probably true. I think at some point I stopped thinking of her as my mother-in-law and started thinking of her as a friend. I thought that she'd come to think of me in the same way. But now I'm realizing that at least a part of her still sees me as Michael's wife. I am hopeful that we will find a way to work it out, but I am prepared to let her go if it comes to that, even though it would make me terribly sad. To those of you who said I should start putting up some boundaries with her, you're probably right. I honestly thought all of the bonus grandma jokes were harmless at first, but now I have started to think otherwise. I don't want to make any rash decisions yet until we've both had a chance to calm down, but as things stand now, she has a lot of work to do in the way of regaining my trust. As to where I stand on the name issue, I am not going to name either of my children after Michael. For those of you who were worried I might cave on the issue, don't be. It was never an option. I briefly considered doing something with a middle name, but ultimately I decided against it. I don't want to burden either of my children by naming them after a man they will never have any connection to. Also, to how we honor Michael's memory, every year John and I go visit his grave on his birthday. It was actually John who started the tradition the year we got engaged, and we haven't missed a year since. Maybe someday when they're old enough, we'll take the boys. I don't know how exactly, but I'm sure I'll find a way to explain to them who Michael was and what he meant to me. For those of you who asked if this was having a negative impact on my marriage, the answer is no. John has been my rock through the entire pregnancy, and his only concern during this ordeal has been my emotional well-being. I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that if I wanted to name one of these babies after Michael, that he would let me and never say a word about it, no matter how much it hurt him. Which makes me even more determined not to cave on the issue, because I refuse to repay his selflessness with selfishness. As to where things stand with ex-mother-in-law and I, my sister-in-law, brother's wife, is good friends with her. They teach together at the same school, so right now she's acting as a sort of go-between. She says that she thinks ex-mother-in-law is having a long overdue emotional breakdown.
Probably been holding that in for 10 years.
Yeah, that sounds like...
Yeah, now she's like, wait, oh no, oh, my emotions.
I always expected that you and Michael would have grandbabies for me, but...
Yeah.
Maybe one can just be Michael.
Yeah.
We both agree that she has avoided fully processing her grief, and now it's all coming to a boiling point. She's pushing hard to get her to see a therapist, and I'm hopeful that we can salvage at least some of our relationship. But if not, I'll find a way to live with it. And finally, to the handful of commenters who insinuated that I am still in love with Michael, and that I'm not being fair to John, let me just say that until you've been in my shoes, you won't understand. Michael and I were very young when we got married. I loved him very much, and he will always, always have a place in my heart. But John is absolutely the love of my life. It took me years of therapy, but I don't feel guilty about it anymore. Thank you all so much for commenting and leaving your thoughts. It's helped me so much to process things and sort out my emotions. I'm planning to see ex-mother-in-law later this week after current in-laws leave, and I will be back with an update as soon as possible. And we have that update.
I just hope she gets the therapy she needs, because it's so clear she's just losing it because she's realizing that her son's not coming back in the form of... This is too many layers. Too many layers of this emotional lasagna for anyone but a professional to unpack.
Hopefully she can come around, though, so she can still, meet the babies and stuff.
Get yourself a nice Italian therapist for this emotional lasagna.
I was like, why Italian?
Because it's
I
the
got
lasagna.
It, I got it. It's the lasagna. I got it.
Lasagna.
I meant to do this sooner, but it has been a wild month. As it turns out, carrying 2 human beings inside of you takes a bit of a toll. And lately, I've been feeling it. As of yesterday, I'm at 32 weeks, which means we're officially out of the danger zone if the boys decide to come early. But hopefully they'll stay where they are for a little while longer. John and I were advised by a friend that we should give them names that mean something to us as a couple. So we decided to name them for our favorite Tom Hanks characters, as it was our mutual love of the actor that we first bonded over. Bring him out!
So you've got one kid's going to be named David Pumpkins.
Hint.
And the other kid is also named David Pumpkins.
And we have a hint here.
Forrest? No,
we have a hint here. Let me read the hint. Neither of them will be named Forrest.
No!
One of them's going to be named Turner.
What's the pilot or the pilot one?
Wilson.
Oh
my God, one of them's going to be
Sully.
Wilson.
Sully, yeah, he's gonna be Sully. Oh, Woody.
Who's the guy from You Got Mail? What's his name in You Got Mail?
Santa Claus. Because the Polar Express.
They're going to name him Big.
Josh Baskin.
Do you want the other hint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them will be named after a character who starred alongside Meg Ryan.
Oh, it's from Sleepless in
I
Seattle.
knew it. It was Who Got Mail. It could be. Well, it actually, to be fair, it could be either of those.
So what are their names?
It could either be You Got Mail or Sleepless in Seattle.
I actually have a friend named Forrest.
It's it's either Joe Fox or Sam Baldwin.
Joe or Sam?
Joe or Sam?
It's probably Joe and Sam.
No, only one of them will be named after a character who starred alongside.
Boo. Name them Turner and Hooch.
Name him Forrest and Gump.
Forrest and Gump.
I want one to be named Wilson after the volleyball from Castaway.
Name one Lieutenant and name the other one Dan.
Oh my God, I bet one's Dan. Daniel and...
I like how both of us went to 2 different movies. That was kind of crazy.
The same we both went to a Tom Hanks Meg Ryan movie.
But you know what else is crazy? That you can listen to more full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
God, wait, they're gonna name this kid Woodrow Wilson.
Okay. We're going down the list here just because this is fun. Forrest Gump, Sheriff Woody, Captain John Miller, Chuck Nolan, John Baskin, Andrew Beckett, Sam Baldwin, Jimmy Dugan, Jim Lovell, or Lavelle.
It's Jim Lovell.
Victor
Apollo astronaut Jim Lovell.
Victor Navorsky, Captain Richard Phillips. Oh, it's probably Captain Phillips. Fred Rogers, Otto Anderson, and there's a couple other ones like Joe and.
God, what has this guy been in every movie and everything ever forever?
Except for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Except he was not in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yes.
But he is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
He's everywhere.
Carl Hanratty from Catch Me If You Can.
Carl Hanratty.
Carl.
All right.
I love that movie.
Since I made this post, it has come to light that ex-mother-in-law has a serious problem with booze. I never realized this before because apparently she was also very good at hiding it. Also, I've been told that while she has been nothing but supportive and kind to my face, she has made some very unkind comments about me and John behind our backs.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God. She's even told some people that I cheated on Michael, her son, with John, even though I didn't even meet him until several years after Michael passed.
That's crazy.
Maybe we just limit contact or cut it anyway.
I would talk to her. I mean, if you really care about her, I would be like, hey, you really need some serious help.
I think this has been a long overdue. Like, she hasn't been able to properly process or deal with her grief in any way. And so now, yeah, it's all slamming her at the same time now that you're like, I'm not naming our children after Michael.
I'm realizing she could have named one Tom and one Hank, and that would have worked.
I swear, if there's not another Tom and Jerry movie starring Tom Hanks as Tom, I'm going to be really upset.
Who would be Jerry?
Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld and Tom Hanks.
We went no contact 2 weeks ago, and it made me very sad because Michael adored his mother, and it would break his heart to see her like this. Because as awful as she's been to me lately, I know it's just because she's in pain. Still, I know he would understand why I've decided to cut her out of my life. I truly hope that one day she'll heal and we can find a way to be friends again. And that is the end of that story.
Yeah, I think that might include not really being in touch, though, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a long time before she can probably, like, interact with you and be in your life in a way that doesn't cause her to be, you know, negative or...
I'm talking crap about you.
And that's, like, you know, that's understandable from, like, a weird... I don't know, grief is weird, especially when it's, like, not processed right. It's like, who knows? It does all kinds of crazy stuff to your behavior. Yeah, her saying that might be, I don't know, it just brings her some level of coping, some level of solace.
And that's the end of that story. We got another one.
My brother left me with his infant, and his wife had no idea of it.
That is a horrible brother.
I have 4 kids, ages 11, 9, 6, and 5. My brother and his wife recently had their first kid, and we were delighted. Last night, my brother called and asked if I could do him a favor, watch their baby for 7 nights so he can surprise his wife with a trip in a couple of months.
7 nights? How old is this child?
It's a baby. It's their infant.
Well, it depends on, is it less than 6 months or more than 6 months?
Had their first kid, and we were delighted. Last night they called. There doesn't seem like there's a timeline.
Because leaving a toddler with someone for 7 nights, all right. But leaving a kid that's less than 6 months old?
Yeah.
With your brother?
That's hard. That's hard.
That's 24/7 care right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she will be 8 months at the time.
No! 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 Maybe. I don't know. How do we feel about 8 months? I
mean, 8 months, like
you take care of kids.
Yeah, my niece is 8 months right now, and I mean, she definitely can't like do anything on her own. Like, she's not like walking or anything like that. But I mean, like, she'll let you know when she's hungry. You just gotta change her diaper, and I don't know, it shouldn't be too bad.
Maybe 2 or 3 nights, but 7 nights.
Yeah, 7 nights is a lot, and especially with like them trying to. Like, I mean, disrupting the routine, especially when they're really little, is could be traumatic for them.
Everyone type 1 for yes and 2 for no.
A week for an 8-month-old is too long. Yeah, I agree. I think it is too long. I could see like maybe 2 or 3 at the most. But because like my mom has watched my brother's kids.
Exactly what I said.
Is it?
Yeah. Did you hear that?
No.
Wow. Anyways.
I have selective hearing, I think. By the way, this comes from a throwaway for Am I the A-hole 1196. And if you just want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Riley.
I'm Keon.
And we are here to give some advice goofily. And we wouldn't have it any other way. We're just going to do our little thing, and you do your little thing. And we want to hear all about what your little thing is.
What?
Okay.
Thang. As OP says, he called clearly expecting that I'd say sure, and that would be the end of it. But honestly, I was very hesitant.
Yeah, you have 4 kids, OP. Adding
Yeah.
a 5th that doesn't know how to walk?
That's the other. Yeah. The baby has major sleep issues. Sister-in-law posts a lot on social media about it. Ugh. And a week is a long time.
Oh.
Also, I suspect it will actually be 8 nights because he needs to drop the baby at our house 3 hours away. I told him I'd get back to him, and he was clearly annoyed. I did not want to do it because, honestly, someone else's baby is just different, and taking her for a week is daunting. But I did want to help. Finally, I landed in what I thought would be the perfect solution for everyone. I would suck it up for a week of no sleep, and in exchange, my brother agreed to watch my crew for 3 or 4 nights this fall so I could take my husband somewhere to celebrate a milestone birthday.
You know? Okay. Negotiation between siblings. I like this.
Yeah.
I could do that.
It's like, okay, well, if I'm going to take your infant for a week, you're going to take my kids when I want you to, but not for a week.
I like
there's
this
4 of them.
compromise. A week with no sleep. I don't think OP said, but they don't have a job. Do they?
I don't know. They didn't say anything about jobs.
That would go into, I'd have to think about that. But anyway, sorry.
This went over like a lead balloon. He thinks I'm the a-hole because A, I'm mostly a stay-at-home mom and supposedly have time. B, there are 4 of my kids to 1 of his. And C, he and his wife have jobs and they would have to burn vacation days to watch mine. D, our house is too small and they don't want to spend the weekend at mine.
Time out. Bro, come on. You're doing something special for your lady. This is just a trade-off.
Yeah.
4 nights isn't even that bad. They're self-sufficient, 11 through 5.
Our house is too small.
That's crazy. You could watch them at my house. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Calling them
that
that.
at my house.
Then no. Trade decline. We're not watching that child for 7 nights.
Trade declined.
Yeah. We get Luca, you get Anthony Davis.
That's what it is.
My position, I might have 4 kids, but they are older and so much easier than an infant. They do not need constant supervision and do not stay up half the night screaming.
Yeah, you just throw them a sandwich every 3 to 4 hours and they're good.
That's true. Throw them in front of a TV, gold. Or bring them to a park, have a picnic, boom.
Oh, wow. Pro over here.
I know what kids want.
Give them an iPad?
No kid of mine will have an iPad. Actually, it'll probably all be iPads. We probably won't have anything other than an iPad.
Be Neuralink by then.
Yeah, that's true. We'll Neuralink by then. That's fun. I'd sooner watch 4 big kids for 7 days than an infant for 3, to be honest. I also resent the implication that I have nothing better to do. My brother said he couldn't commit to babysitting at a specific time right now, but asked me to just agree and we'll work it out later because he wanted to tell his wife about the trip. I said no. He said he'd be screwed if I didn't because he already paid for flights. Too good of a deal to wait. That's not my fault. What?
Just accept my proposal, dog.
Yeah.
Not that hard.
Also, being a stay-at-home mom, doesn't mean that you're just sitting around, just looking at the wall until your kids are home. That's just not what that is. And I know a lot of people think, oh, you just cook and clean. How hard can it be? Well, when I have 5 people, including my husband, running around the house, getting things dirty, not cleaning up, having to refill all these different things. Yeah, it gets a little hard to keep up with all of it. So imagine living alone and having to take care of yourself. Now imagine living with 5 other people and also having to take care of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Yeah, no, stay-at-home mom is no joke. Hopefully
Yeah.
I can be a stay-at-home dad one day.
My mom has always been a stay-at-home mom.
I'd be so good at it.
Oh, my mom. I think you would be good at it too.
Thanks, man. Dude, last night, 9:30, I cooked and cleaned and had meals ready for the week.
Wow. I need to do that tonight. Yeah.
I was cooking for Angie. I was like, you don't even know what you have right now. Women would die for this.
Honestly, yeah.
What, Keon, when's the last time you've cooked and cleaned?
I cleaned over the weekend.
I said cooked and cleaned.
Been a busy weekend. A lot of birthdays.
Mm-hmm. He always says that. He says he's always up to something.
I am.
Always up to something.
I have birthday tonight. Tomorrow's late. Wednesday, I'm helping John move. I think birthday Friday. Stuff this weekend.
What about Thursday?
Yeah, you didn't say anything about Thursday.
Oh, I can breathe.
Thursday.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can cook a meal. But cooking a meal is like working out. Once you get working out, it's not really a drag. You kind of look forward to it.
No, I enjoy
Heck,
it.
I could go back tonight after my events and cook dinner, and I'd be so happy to do it.
Cooking.
The thing is, I don't want to get groceries because I'm going away next week.
That's true.
Stop it, Kim Roberts. Maybe I should be a stay-home dad. Give me one of your kids for a day, and we'll see if I can podcast and take care of it. Who would give me their kid for a day?
Oh my God, I'll give you the boys.
Oh, yeah?
2 boys that I babysit.
They'd love me.
Could
They're
I give
9 now, 2
could-
9-year-old.
Could I give myself to you?
No.
They love video games.
You don't want to take care of me for a day? Okay.
I would do a good job at it, but no.
Wow.
No. Anyways.
Anyways, back to this. And his wife desperately needs a break. I suggested he just add the baby as a lap infant and take her too. I've mentioned before we've used agencies for babysitters so we could have an evening or 2 out on vacation. And he got very pissed and said he knew my refusal is all based on me judging him for not wanting to parent like you. Oh, no, that's actually not at all. The content of this comment is that we moved abroad for a few years when ours were little and had the last 2 overseas. We traveled extensively with the kids from the time they were tiny, but that has nothing to do with my refusal. I'm obviously pro-kid-free travel since this is the source of the conflict. It is all about the length of time I'd be watching a young baby with, like, no actual payback. Why I might be the a-hole. When I texted my group chat, one friend totally agreed with me. One said she understood my side completely, but would probably do it for family if it was her. And the last one hasn't said anything, so I suspect she thinks I'm being mean.
I don't read into that one.
There's an update.
And thank you, everyone that said you would let me watch their kids for a day. Someone said, you can watch my 20-year-old and 18-year-old for a day.
Yikes. Have fun with that.
So if this was my brother, I would do it. Why not? If we live kind of closer together, I'd suck it up and do it. But it is a unfair trade. It is an unfair trade, and it makes sense you would say no.
The other thing is that they live 3 hours away. So, like, when the baby, like, it's not like they live right next door, you know, and then they, like, can go off and they can, like, go back and forth. Like, if they forget something, they'll have to, like, probably buy it there and whatever. And then also, like, what are you going to do when all of the other kids are like, I can't sleep because the baby's all, you know, blah, blah. And then it's a bigger issue than it originally is.
It just... You're asking your sibling for a solid, and then the second they ask you for a solid, you say no.
You give them a liquiid.
I mean, this is kind of...
That was a science joke. A solid, liquid,
favor.
and a gas.
Yeah, it was kind of liquidy. It was kind of bad.
Actually, give him a gas next time. Just fart in his face.
Anyways, a solid for a solid. That's how it works.
There's an update.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so it has been kind of a weird day. After obsessing all night and coming up with more and more questions, I ended up following up with my brother.
All right.
It quickly became clear how poorly thought out this whole operation was.
It does not sound like this guy thought about it at all.
Yeah. I think definitely brother. I think brother's the a-hole here because I don't. There's just that is a lot of responsibility, and now you're wanting me to not only watch over my 4 other children that are all like.
Yeah.
You know, they're pretty close in age. What, I think they're like, oldest
11
one's 11?
11 to 5.
Yeah, so 11 to 5. So that's a pretty big range. And then I don't even know if 5-year-old actually does go to school or not, you know? And obviously, if this is in the summer, like, are you taking them to sports? Are you taking them to this and that? Now you just have this baby just to come along with everything. Like, that's a lot. That's asking a lot. Childcare is not easy by any means. Because everyone's freaking different.
And they're always trying to break your heart.
Aww.
Wait, that's adoption. Never mind. Take that back.
Always trying to break your heart like an infant. Okay, he definitely would have needed to drop the baby off the night before they left because it will be a 6-hour round trip. But also his flight doesn't get in until early evening on the day they get back. So who thinks they'd be jumping in the car to get the baby right after? Ha! When I pointed out that he'd actually be leaving her for 9 nights, then he tried to suggest that I should coordinate a visit with our mom, same town, for around then, and he'd get her from there. Yeah, he basically thought maybe I'd deliver the baby to him at the end.
Dude.
That's what I thought too.
You're really not even looking at your sister, what she does for her family, as an important thing. My mother was basically a stay-at-home mom. Well, she helped out with the sawmill and then took care of us kids.
Yeah.
She was running around like crazy. She was the go-to person.
Yeah, same with my mom.
God, so we went from 7 to 9 and you can't watch my kids for 4 effing days? Insane.
Crazy.
Insane.
When I pointed out these things, he started getting defensive and said maybe he'd just ask mom and dad to watch her. That's when I got pissed. Our mom has a health situation that she and my dad are basically pretending isn't happening.
Lovely.
It is absolutely not safe for them to leave the baby with her for that length of time. I told him if he even hinted to my mother that he wanted to do it, I would absolutely call his wife to explain to her why it isn't safe. I have a story about this of one of my own from before we realized how things were progressing, and I'm not sure if he'd told her. After this, I guess he decided to reveal what he had in mind, at which point he got in trouble with her for booking without talking to her, but for an additional reason that I didn't even know about.
Well, seems like you got good flight deals, and you're now trying to make this trip happen without planning correctly.
Yeah, so...
Keon, what would you do in this situation? Would you book the flights, or would you check with your sister first before booking?
Always check. You always check. You know me, Riley. I quadruple check. I have to make sure. That's insane. You don't just assume.
Yeah, especially with a trip that's like, that you now have an infant, like 8 months, so like almost out of infant stage, but like, you can't just leave them and go live your life. You can't do that because now you have a responsibility.
And why can't you take the baby with you? It's like a lap dog.
Yeah.
Take it out to pee. Actually, you don't even have to take it out to pee. It has something there. You should change it once in a while.
It has something
there. You just
there.
refer to an infant to a lap dog?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Right.
If you don't want to look at it, you just put it in one of those bags.
This is the guy who said he'll take care of your kids, everybody.
Lap dog.
I had a professional babysitter say that was fine.
Lap dog.
Until you called it a lap dog.
A lap dog? I mean, honestly, like babies, they kind of are. It's not like you're like, they just kind of sit around and they don't do anything. They don't like.
Dude, if I had to take care of an 8-month-old, I would do phenomenal.
Oh, an 8-month-old? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really like. I've never seen you with a child.
Really?
Where's a child that I've seen?
I have
you
2
with?
kid brothers.
I'm right here.
Right here.
I'm right here.
Me.
I know. I don't volunteer with the youth much. I'd like to have a little basketball team. That'd be fun.
Coach
Oh my
Riley.
gosh.
Oh my gosh, you should look up.
should?
Yeah.
Instead of you
the
playing
boys-
basketball, you should just start coaching it.
No, yeah, I'll coach the little guys. That'd be
Yeah.
so fun.
Are you kidding me?
I've thought about it.
You should. They're
Yeah.
always looking for people.
Coach like a little rec league, like a little YMCA.
Yeah, rec league
honestly.
at like City Hall or something. Like
Yeah, City Hall. They got a basketball court at City Hall.
my City Hall, they did.
All the parents would be like, "Why are you doing that?"
Why am I doing this? Just the Lord put it in my heart.
The Lord put it in my heart. All right, so apparently she has a huge project at work she's stressed about, and this trip would be right at crunch time before it's due. Okay, so
Guess who didn't put any thought into it? OP! No, OP's brother. Sorry, damn it, that didn't work.
ding it.
Yeah, bro, come on. Sorry, what?
You were so close.
But dude, what are you thinking, dog?
Yeah, it's like I don't. So
He just got a
That wouldn't
good
have
deal.
worked.
He just got a good deal and he's trying to make it work. That's
Yeah.
really what it is.
no, it truly is. He's like, oh, it'll be fun. We don't have to worry about anything. Oh, you have a big project? When?
It'll be fun.
You can do it on the plane.
Yeah.
Just zoom from the plane.
The plane's already zooming. Might as well
Double zoom.
double zoom.
She is currently still feeding, but planning to stop soon because pumping is awful and the baby just wants to feed all night long when they are back together. So that part probably wasn't an issue. I found all this out when she called because she wanted to apologize for the situation because she thinks this was a ridiculously huge ask and is embarrassed that my brother did that. We ended up having a lovely chat.
There we go. Queen's getting it together. That's what I like to see.
By the way, I would like to see you listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app, and just search OK Storytime. Oh, why did I say breast feeling?
I don't know. That's what I would like to know. Yeah, this is just a scenario of a dad. He doesn't even seem like he's that connected to the whole.
It just seems like he's like, oh, it's time to take a trip. We had a baby. Now it's time to do fun things. And it's like, well, no, we have a baby. Now it's time to take care of the baby.
Mom talking to mom. I like it.
Mom talking to mom.
I'm at that stage in life where I can just have a conversation with an adult, and it's great, and I enjoy it. I had one today with an adult.
What do you consider an adult? What, like 40?
No.
Okay.
Like-
Well, I don't know.
Anyone that actually has responsibilities.
So like anyone over the age of 21.
Like someone that's like, they got kids to
Would
take
you
care of.
consider
and-
me an adult?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, you're getting there, but you're a young adult.
I am a young adult. I should be.
But an adult is like, I have a job, I have kids, take care of other humans other than me. I don't even consider myself an adult.
So
I'm
if
getting there.
If people never have kids, are they never an adult?
No, they are an adult. It's like they're not like I'm not like singling out like single people that aren't married or anything, but it's more like it's hard to explain. I know some people know what I'm talking about.
Corporate
and if you know what I'm
job.
talking about, please help defend me here. But once I have a dog, I feel like I'd be like a part of the adult community. Right now I'm a young adult and I'm trying to contribute, but I'm not really there
Does
yet.
that mean I'm not an adult? Am I an adult?
No, I've heard some people say that so 30s is your 20s, but you have money. How fun! I can't wait to have money and do things. Right? No one else?
Maybe.
Okay.
You
Ask Dakota.
might have, yeah. Dakota's 30. I think he has money.
I think he has money. I don't know. Anyway, the trip isn't happening.
Whoa!
My husband wins because my brother apparently tried to suggest he just go solo since he can't miss work at that particular time. She shut that down hard because she is going to be working long hours for her project and can't be single parenting on top of it. This guy really just sucks.
What kind of
He's like, all right, I'm just going to go. Bye.
What kind of trip did you get, and what kind of deal was it? Because he really wants to go that bad.
I know. He's like, dude, I got these like crazy tickets to Vegas. We gotta go. $60 each. Let's go. Plus the $5 billion we spend at the casino. But it's Vegas, baby. Let's do it. Like, I don't understand. You have an infant, which means you don't get to do things now. Yay. While I'm still pissed that I don't think my brother values my time at all, in general, I think he just made a stupid impulsive decision and figured he could sort the details later. He used to do that sort of thing all the time when he was younger, but maybe it is sinking in now that these things take more planning when you have a kid. I'm going to have a hard time getting over the comment he made about getting our mom to do it, but he insists he wouldn't really have asked. Oh, and that's the end.
Holy cow. Well, he seems like he cleared the air and figured out what was actually about to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this guy, I think he was just really stupid. I think he's just like, oh, like, I don't know, kids aren't that hard. We could just have our family help out and dump the child there.
My wife does that. She does a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, honestly, they don't know. They don't know. See? My 30s were awesome.
Let's go.
That's why they call it the dirty 30s.
Dirty 30s.
You were going to have so many dirty 30s, Keon.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Okay, what I was trying to say earlier about adults
What?
is you can still be like single in your 30s. You're like having to contribute to a cause bigger than yourself. I guess that's what I see as a proper adult, if that makes sense. Like
Okay.
if I'm single in my 30s and I don't have a wife or kids, but like I'm a part of like a church community or like, I don't know, like a volunteer thing, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm like contributing something bigger than myself. And if you're not, that's okay. That's just how I grew up looking at adults. And that is my definition of it. And you can't take that away from me.
I don't think
That's
I'll
his
ever grow
boundary.
up. I don't think I'll always be me.
We're good. You do you, Rock.
Am I an adult?
I just want to be able to, I think I'll consider myself an adult when I have like enough like financial stability that I could just be like, oh, I'm going to give to like this high school. I'm going to give to like this charity.
High school?
A high school?
High schools don't have a lot of money.
Oh, well, true. You're very sweet, Savannah.
Thank you.
I slept with my childhood best friend, and I think I'm in love with her.
Oh, no.
We've known each other since we were kids. We are 28 male and 28 female now, both of us. She's been my constant, the one person I could always be completely myself with. It was always the best time we spend with each other. We both have established careers, and we're good. By the way, this comes from Substantial Can 694, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, last year, everything shifted. She ended a 10-year relationship. Mine fell apart around the same time. We leaned on each other the way we always had, but more. More dinners, more late nights at her place, more of everything that had always felt easy between us. Last week, I got invited to a high-end gala and asked her to come as my +1. She works in luxury jewelry as a private client manager, and she knows that world. I told her honestly I wanted good company and a beautiful woman beside me to feel confident walking in. She made me say it properly before she agreed. Yesterday, we got ready together. She helped me coordinate with what she was wearing, and I noticed something I maybe should have paid more attention to. Butterflies in my stomach.
Oh.
I bought her flowers. It wasn't romantic. I just wanted her to feel special. That night was good. Networking, dancing, her idea. Genuine fun. On the way back, I took her through a drive-thru because we were both hungry and I didn't want the night to end. We talked. It was easy, like it always is with her. When we got back to her place, it was already midnight and she made some juice for us.
Yum, like homemade juice? Sign me the frick up
What-
right now.
Yeah,
I love
what
juice.
kind of juice?
Kidding me? Juice me up.
Oh.
Literally juice me up.
One thing led to another. We started flirting, then making out, and before I knew it, we ended up having spicy sleep.
As friends though, right? As friends though, right?
Yeah.
As a friends though, right?
Only friends. Friendship activities.
Oh no.
When I woke up this morning, I felt this huge wave of guilt. Like, what did I just do? She wasn't acting weird, though. She seemed calm, even a bit affectionate, giving me these soft looks that made it feel like she didn't regret it at all. The thing is, I actually enjoyed it. It was honestly one of the best experiences I've had. She is the most beautiful woman I've ever had spicy sleep with. But at the same time, I can't stop thinking I might have ruined something really important. She's been my best friend for most of my life, and now I don't know what this means for us. I'm in love with her. If I'm going to date her, that's the only end goal, which is to marry her.
Oh, whoa.
I can't
After
imagine a life
one
without her.
night?
Yeah, but he's known her for a while. This is like a friend. Hopefully 3 kids in our 30s. Since we both shared we want 3 kids. Hope he is thinking long term. He said,
Yikes.
we spent one night, and now I can see our whole future. But I never had the idea that the kids would be half her and half me. I'm going to talk to her tonight. I'm nervous, but I have a feeling she's gonna be my girlfriend.
This guy's jumping to conclusions
Oh.
real fast.
I hope.
I don't know how to start dating life and transform our relationship into something more. She's not some random girl, so I'm shy, and it's a bit difficult to take it to the next level. Any advice and tips will be helpful. And we've got an update, folks. One day later.
Oh, no. One day later.
Yeah, just one day. I called her and asked if I could come over. She said yes, without hesitating, which already felt like something.
Uh-oh.
When I got there, she had music on low and was just relaxed, normal her. I remember thinking this is exactly what I'm fighting for. I didn't have a speech. I just sat down and told her the truth. I said something like, I've been thinking about last night, and I don't want to pretend it was nothing. I'm not confused about how I feel. I'm in love with you. I think I have been for a while, and I just didn't let myself see it. Wow. She got quiet. Not the bad kind of quiet, the kind where you can tell someone's actually feeling something. Then she laughed a little and said, "What took you so long?"
Oh, stop. Sophia loves this.
I don't have the words for what that moment felt like. 20-something years of knowing this person. Wait, he's known her since he was 8?
Yeah.
This is a childhood.
Yeah, you said they've known each other for like their entire childhood.
This is beautiful. And somehow this was still the most I'd ever seen her. We talked for a long time after that about what this means for us and about how neither of us wants to be careless with what we already have. About the fact that we're not kids and we know who each other actually are. No illusions or honeymoon phase, stranger energy. Just 2 people who already know the worst and best of each other, deciding to choose it on purpose. At some point in the middle of all this talking, I just looked at her and asked properly. Nothing elaborate, just, "So will you actually be my girlfriend?" She burst out laughing, like genuinely couldn't hold it together for a second, and then she kissed me and said yes.
All it took was one little date, one fun night.
Still half laughing against my face, which is somehow the most her way that could have possibly happened. But then she pulled back, gave me this very specific look, the one I now recognize as her "I have been thinking about this for a while" face, and said we needed to go over some ground rules first.
Oh.
No canceling plans last minute. Communication. Our friends don't get weird details. I agreed to all. I stayed over. Woke up next to her again. 2 mornings in a row now. okay, she's possessive. That's something I didn't know. But anyway, it's good. And I
Oh
loved
no, he has the rose-tinted glasses.
it. No, it's fine. It's fine. Should be good.
All right.
Should
All
be
right.
good.
I have the green-tinted glasses.
By the way, you know it would be good of you guys to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. Wow, I love this. This is perfect. No notes. Great stuff. But there's a little bit left. She's my girlfriend now. Still the easiest person I've ever known. What do you mean by that?
Like,
What do
probably
you mean
just easy
easiest?
to be myself around.
Oh,
Fine.
it's a weird way to phrase that. But mine now. In
It's
a way
mine
that's
now.
new and terrifying, and the best thing that has happened to me in a long time. I used to give her flowers when we were kids, but stopped it when we were teenagers. Anyways, I bought her flowers again this morning. She told me I have to stop doing that. I'm gonna keep doing that. My mom has known her since we were kids. She's had her over for holidays and has asked about her at family dinners for years. If I call her and say, Mom, she's my girlfriend now, she will be happy. I'm gonna tell her after a few months, we will date secretly for a few more months.
Oh.
I don't think you need to do all that, but I mean, like, if that's what y'all decided. I don't know. As someone who dated a friend and am dating my friend, still dating,
Someone who's still currently dating my
still
friend.
currently dating my friend, it doesn't stay a secret. Everyone knows.
That's true. My girlfriend felt she was competing with my late wife, who was long gone.
Girl, get over it.
My wife, Farah, passed away suddenly 7 years ago. Oh, it was obviously completely devastating. We had been together for 6 years plus close friends for another 5 before that. So
A lot of time.
Yeah.
So I was pretty close with her family. After she passed away, my mother-in-law told me that no matter what happened, they'd always consider me family and would always be there for me if I needed anything. By the way, this comes from Adoptive Dad Throwaway. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
And we're here to give some good advice, girlfriend. But we do not have all of the answers that you seek. We only would tell you what we would do in this situation. But sometimes that's not even the correct answer. But you know what is the correct answer? What you guys say. Because we're going to...
The customer is always
The
right.
customer's always right. Exactly. As OP says. 3 years after her passing, I ended up fostering twin siblings as a single parent who I have since adopted. Okay, kind of like cute.
Yeah.
There.
Savannah.
What? I'm just saying it is.
Savannah's kind of into this.
Well, no, why I did that, there was actually hair in my eye.
Oh.
But
No.
no, there
Lies.
I'm not
was.
believing that.
Lies.
Whatever.
Savannah sees a project and she wants to manage it.
No, I see a problem and I want to fix it.
That's
That's the difference. What?
A project has many problems.
Okay. Problem and a project are not the same thing. They were 3 at the time. As a first-time parent, my mom helped me out, as did Farah's parents. It started off pretty small, with them just coming by to drop off food and small gifts, but eventually they really ended up bonding with the kids so much that I decided they may as well be honorary grandparents to the kids.
So cute.
It's
So cute.
I only have my mom, and I thought the more people in their life who care about them, the better. They've honestly been amazing grandparents to the kids, and my kids really love them. About 2 years after I got the kids, I met my current girlfriend, Lori, currently 33 female. Recently, after about 2 years of dating, I asked her to move in with me, and she moved in 2 weeks ago. I love her, and she's great with the kids. However, the kids' birthday was this week, and Farah's parents stopped by to drop off presents and wish them well, which was the first time Lori met them.
Aw.
Afterwards, Lori told me she thought it was inappropriate for me to make the kids call them grandma and grandpa, and that it showed that I was clearly still not over Farah and that I saw her as their mom.
Whoa.
That
That's
is-
a reach.
That is a big assumption.
That's a huge reach.
That is a lot.
Girl.
You met them one time and you're like, yeah, I've discerned all of this from this one meeting. No.
That's crazy.
You can't. Also, I mean, just an assumption to say you're forcing your kids to call these people grandma and grandpa.
I would like, if that were to happen, I would have so much sympathy for, I mean, one for, OP,
Yeah.
but also for the kids,
Yeah.
like, I don't understand.
Also,
like,
there's
wha-
like no being over something like that.
Exactly.
You're always grieving.
Yeah. Like OP didn't break up with this girl. She passed away.
Yeah.
This was like someone that he loved very deeply
And is still
lost,
close with their family.
and is still close with their family. It's there's no such thing, I think, as having only one soulmate. Like he can still have love for this person that he lost and have love for this new woman.
Yeah.
And to tell him that he's not allowed to have that.
Here's my thing. Y'all have been dating for 2 years. And after just 2 weeks of moving in, you're saying stuff like this that is
Already causing problems.
But also is a huge crack in the foundation of y'all's relationship. How did this not come up earlier? That's baffling me.
Yeah. Some people, it's just like, some people
2
just don't.
years.
Yeah. They don't think to like bring it up or talk about it or whatever because it's just like a way of life or like they've been doing it for a while that it's just like not relevant. But like, I don't know. I tell everyone everything.
It's true.
It is true.
I don't
We have
know.
to tell her
Sue me.
not to tell.
A little too much sometimes.
Yeah, we say, Savannah, you can't say that.
Please stop explaining. I had a story about her today. I was like, please stop talking about this subject. I'm going to get uncomfortable.
Over a spider.
Yes. Yes, it
Oh,
was.
well, that one, you know what? That was not over-explaining. That was just talking about spider.
Right. That was like 3 sentences max.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I just didn't want to hear it.
He just doesn't like spiders.
Whatever. She asked what else could be the reason I treated her parents like their grandparents and said that the attachment I had with Farrah's family was unhealthy and that I was pretending like she was still my wife and the mother of my kids. But she never was like,
Yeah, she was never the mother.
she wasn't
of the
even there
kids.
when the kids were there.
Like these kids were fostered and adopted by OP separate.
They probably don't even know about her.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure
they're-
they know about her.
yeah,
but like,
maybe
they probably
they-
don't know. I mean, they didn't know her.
Yeah, but they don't know anything. Like,
Yeah.
they've never seen her, never had a conversation.
Yeah.
She wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like, she passed, and then,
Dude,
Doesn't make
that's
sense.
crazy.
Lori, if you do not understand what these people have put into these lives of these children and get your act straight, you're about to hit the road.
Hit
honestly.
the road. You're
Like-
about to hit that road.
What is happening
I
here?
have no idea.
Stop talking, Lori.
Lori, you're giving me a headache.
Feel it coming on.
I could feel it in my eye.
She also said it was bad and confusing for the kids and that it makes it difficult for her to connect with them and see herself as a parent to them because it makes her feel inadequate and like she's competing with Farrah over kids Farrah never even met.
Then how would you be competing with Farrah?
This girl's crazy.
It's
How
in your
would
head.
you?
Sorry, this is
Like
like
she
insane.
acknowledges that Farrah never met them and yet thinks that it's possible for her to be competing with a woman that they
They have
never
a
met.
connection. They have a connection. They just have that.
Yeah. She's just like, I know they had that vibe.
No evidence. Just
Zero.
assumption.
Yep. All assumption.
I don't really see how it's unhealthy or confusing, as I rarely talk about Farrah to them, least of all treating her as their mother. They have gotten to the age where they've asked questions about how they and I are related to their grandparents, and I just tell them that we chose them to be a part of our family, like how I chose them to be my kids.
Aw.
Which is great.
Very sweet. Very
Okay,
sweet.
stop.
I honestly think that you could, maybe when they're a little bit older,
Yeah.
you could explain Farrah and stuff. And I think that Lori or whatever should, if she was like a decent person, should be okay with that because it is an important part of your life.
Yeah, and support it.
Yeah. At this point, my former in-laws have been part of my kids' life for 4 years, and I feel like it would be more damaging to try and cut them out now. What you shouldn't have to cut them out.
Yeah.
This shouldn't even be an option.
It's not even, she shouldn't be bringing that up one bit.
Yeah, no, don't. But I can kind of see where she's coming from, and I don't want to sabotage her bond with the kids either, as they've become very close. I don't know, was I the a-hole for letting them be grandparents to the kids and for refusing to stop it now, and not even at least slowly distancing the kids from them, as Lori suggests I could try to do? And there was an update. No, you're not the a-hole at all in this story.
No.
No, you are grieving. You are grieving.
Yeah.
And you are gonna
Taking care of
continue,
kids.
and yeah, you're taking care of kids. Your wife has passed. You're still close with your in-laws, which is completely normal. By the
Very
way,
normal.
you can.
Very.
That's normal.
Yeah.
That they have a connection. Now you want to, have them in your life, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, Lori's just like, hey, I don't think that these people who, I don't think they should be grandparents when they're not really grandparents. And, this girl, passed away. So, why is
Yeah,
she still
yeah.
involved?
The only way I could
That's what she
see
sounds
this, Yeah, honestly. And the only way I could see this as a problem is if you were forcing it, OP.
Yes. Or the grandparents were behaving badly and were a, not good influence.
Yeah, or we're like being mean to
Yes.
Lori.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of those things are happening.
None of those things are happening. You establish a relationship with the kids and their grandparents before Lori came around. Why is Lori not reaching the maturity she needs to do to mother these children coming up and having a good stance as your girlfriend and probably soon to be wife?
Yeah.
I don't get it. OP, think about that before thinking about cutting out those awesome and amazing grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who have been there for you.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
There's an update. Just wanted to clarify a few things. My wife and I never had biological kids. The issue here is not them being non-biological. Thank you to the people who affirmed that family is family regardless of blood. And if that was her issue, I would have never had any doubts that she's the a-hole, because I'm adopted. My kids are adopted, and there are no blood relations here whatsoever.
No one shares the same DNA. We just choose for this to happen.
It's like, we're all adopted, Lori. Okay? Leave me alone.
The issue she has is specifically that by calling Farrah's parents the grandparents, she feels like I'm treating Farrah as their mother, and I am prioritizing Farrah over her.
What
How?
are you literally talking about?
Literally how?
It's an insecurity.
So insecure.
She's voicing an insecurity. If she's not taking that accountability that it's her own thing, I don't think you can keep this relationship.
Great point.
You're
100%
jealous
agree.
of a non-living person.
Yeah.
Who
And if
you've
you
never
get- yeah.
met, who the kids have never met.
Yeah.
What, like,
It's like
look at yourself.
It's like if I'm trying to think of comparison. It's like if I had, I had kids and a teacher started teaching them about like Martin Luther King. And I was like, you can't be doing that because I'm the only parental figure. I'm the only adult figure they should have in their life. You can't be teaching them about Martin Luther King.
I think that's a stretch, but yeah, sure.
It's the same thing.
I think I see
It's
your
the same.
point.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm
like
seeing
a person
it.
who passed away.
I don't know why MLK Jr. came in, but
He was the first person I could think of.
or we just named
Oh,
Black.
that's sweet. You keep him off the top of your mind when it comes to
She's still
history.
on to the black thing.
MLK. Okay, wait. It's like if I
What
was
about
like,
the French Revolution?
it's like,
Would
yeah.
they be okay if the teacher teaches that?
it's like if a teacher was like, Lafayette, I'm teaching your children about Lafayette, and then I was like, you can't be teaching my kids about Lafayette because then they're gonna like Lafayette better than me.
Lafayette.
So those are the two historical figures.
That was good.
Those are the two historical figures that just will always be your kid's favorite.
Okay, Lafayette.
I feel like the situation at hand we already has a really good grasp on.
Yeah.
I am having a really hard time of grasping of what you're trying to get at.
Did this help you explain the story? Did this help you guys understand what's going on?
The story is explained perfectly well.
I don't
Now I'm
think you guys
trying
were
to decode what you're getting at.
I don't
Yeah,
think you guys were understanding. I don't think you understand.
You should try another analogy.
Okay.
No,
It's
no,
like-
no.
It's like going to school and
No.
you're teaching your kids about Jesus, and you're like, oh, they're gonna like Jesus more than me.
I mean,
Okay, that could. Okay, I guess
I
I
got
get
that
it.
one.
Back on. We're back on.
You can't be talking about Jesus because he's not here, and
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
gonna
you're
take
like-
priority over me.
Exactly.
Okay, well,
I don't know why the other ones didn't click, but Jesus Christ once again saves the day.
let's go. Yeah, I love that guy.
Obviously, she knew my kids before we moved in together. My kids really get along well with her and look forward to seeing her and spending time with her. I would never have moved in with her if I thought she would be a bad parent to them, and she isn't, independent of this. She's just letting her insecurities about my late wife cloud her view. One of the many reasons I tried to see her point of view was that she was so good with them and I didn't want the kids to lose their relationship with her either. But I see now that if they did, that's her fault and something that's out of my control.
Yup.
There
Big
you go.
old yep.
OP's getting the big brain.
Mhm.
Then put on your thinking cap.
Mm-hmm.
People are acting like I was genuinely considering separating them from their grandparents. Because you kind of said that.
Well, yeah, I think it just was saying that Lori wanted that.
Like I said in the post, I'd already refused to do so or negotiate with her about this. My kids will always come first for me, and obviously my first instinct was to shut this down. But she made me feel like the a-hole for not being willing to budge at all on an issue that she was clearly very sensitive to. So I wanted to make sure that my first instinct was not the wrong one, which I am now reassured that it's not. At the end of the day, the core issue here is her being insecure about my relationship with my late wife. When making this post, I was genuinely trying to see her point of view and thought maybe it was normal for her to feel this way. And maybe I was the bad guy for not at least recognizing how our close relationship with my late wife's parents made her feel. No.
You're very sweet
But no.
to consider that, and you're
But-
doing the right thing of exploring it because you feel confused. But we're leveling them out. We're leveling them out.
We're leveling. We're leveling. Someone get a leveler, because we're leveling.
Get a leveler. Now, I see that obviously it's not normal, but what's unhealthy is not me still having a strong bond with people who have been in my life and supported me for 18 years, but her feeling insecure and jealous of a woman who has been passed away for 7 years. I will be doubling down and telling her that the kids and my relationship with Farrah's parents is non-negotiable.
There we go. Yes. King.
7 years.
And that I'm not choosing between her or them. I'm just maintaining two important relationships. If she has a problem, then she's the one choosing her insecurities over me and the kids.
Yes.
Leveling. We're leveling.
Wow. Level up. Some of you have recommended articles and so on that I will try to show her to get her to understand.
Wait, there's articles about this stuff?
Yeah.
I guess.
It's like when your partner's
Sophia
previous
wrote
part-
them. It's like when you go. It's like when you
It's like
go
when
to
you
school.
go to school and your partner really loves Martin Luther King.
When Lafayette, Martin Luther King, and Jesus Christ walk into a bar.
There's a joke here.
We gotta find it.
Wait,
Someone find
did
it.
Lafayette get killed by other people?
Lafayette. When you know one of does anyone know
I'm
the
taking
rap?
this horse by the reins, make a red coat, sweater with blood stains.
Lafayette!
And I'm never gonna stop
Wait,
until I make
did
a
he get
stop, and I'm
killed by
gonna
other
get the
people?
remains out.
Lafayette.
Watch me engaging them, escaping them, and raging them.
No,
Ah!
stop. Did he get unalived by other people?
Oh,
I don't know how Lafayette passed.
I think he was just.
Did he pass in like the
I don't know.
French
He
Revolution?
turned into Ben Franklin. Wait,
What?
is it not Ben Franklin? Thomas Jefferson. Sorry.
Yeah, he becomes Thomas.
They all are the same in my head. But I don't know what happened to Lafayette. I think
But-
like he just lived his life and.
Well, because he was part of the French Revolution.
Yeah.
Because he goes back for the
And he
French
was
Revolution.
found.
So he either like was chill or he passed away in the French Revolution. Couldn't tell you.
Let's look it up.
Look it up.
Lafayette.
After catching a severe cold in
Aw.
a carriage ride in the rain, he passed away in his home.
That's like
Aw.
so tough. Imagine being
getting
taken
a
out by a cold.
What? Time out.
Would be me.
Compared to his and Martin Luther King's and Jesus's, that's
He
pretty
got it.
wild.
He got off easy.
Yeah, he really did. He really did. Of the options we've got, assassination, crucifixion, cold? Not bad. Not bad.
What was the weather like when he was getting crucified?
Yeah, I think it was pretty good.
I don't know.
Rumbling.
Rumbling. The earth was
Like-
shattering.
There was
Crumbling.
an earthquake. Yeah, it did happen.
There was an earthquake when that happened?
I can't.
No,
It was
it
He
was
can't get
later.
into it. He can't get into
it. It was
like
after
when-
he passed.
Yeah, it was after he
Oh.
passed and he was in the thing and then the rock broke and he was like,
I went to Catholic.
Yeah, how did they
Thanks.
die?
No,
Explain it.
seriously, I don't know anything.
yeah.
I don't know how they got away with that.
I really don't know what they
Were you just not listening?
Yeah. And she went to Sunday school too.
You went to Sunday.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
They talk about this every year at Easter.
No, I just went to Sunday school. I didn't go to
church.
no, I went to church. I'm saying I didn't go to like religious school.
They taught this in church though.
Yeah.
Like every church.
You know what I did in church? I would sit there and I would pull open the whatever gospel or whatever it was, and I would do my. I was so bored and I couldn't talk, and my mom was was like, you need to pay attention, whatever. Or well, no, she was just like,
all right, get to it.
I would sit there and do my trombone, like you know how I would do my trombone positions.
I personally during church would take a envelope that they used for
offerings
and I would draw on it.
for tithe. Oh yeah, that classic move.
Classic.
Move. Anyways,
I didn't get that
story.
By the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search up OK Storytime. While it's possible she may have specifically waited until after she moved in to press this issue, this was also the first time she'd ever met the grandparents and seen them interact with the kids and seen how close they really are, which I think is mainly what triggered this. I don't think she's a horrible, calculating, manipulative person like many people are suggesting. I think she's just deeply insecure and not able to handle being in a relationship with a widower as well as she thought she was. I think she thought that because my kids are not my wife's biological kids, she could sweep my wife under the rug and pretend that she never existed. And my in-laws being in the picture ruins that.
Dang.
But regardless of whether or not we had biological kids, Farrah will always be a huge and important part of my life, and she needs to understand that. I'm not going to end things with her, but I'm going to make my position crystal clear, and she can either be okay with it or choose to leave.
Agreed.
I like that.
Concur.
I like that ending.
Yeah, me too. OP's putting the foot down.
Yeah, OP, I was afraid for a minute.
Me
Because
too.
it seemed like you were like, well, I don't know, should I? And I was like, no, you're not the a-hole. What?
Wait.
And then you got the train back on the rails.
Mm-hmm. You were off the rails. You were going all over the place.
You got it back on.
I'm
You
proud
got
of you.
on the rails.
One of my top 3 favorite things are train tracks.
I really want you to take a certain test right now.
Do you want to know the other 2 things?
want you. Yeah.
Trains
No.
and locomotives.
No. Train tracks, bricks, and the moon.
I love how you didn't say your boyfriend.
No, things. He's not a thing. He's a
Hmm.
person, Riley.
I don't know. He'd be working that thing.
What thing? What thing?
We both
We
know what
working
we're
that
thinking.
thing.
His ass.
Yep. There you go.
I had
She's
to
getting
say
it. All right, ladies.
And we've got comments from the video. My family excluded me from Christmas 2 years in a row and sent a group selfie. And this TLDR comes from story 2. OP and her husband are not rich, but they do their best to give their 13-year-old daughter, Iris, a decent life. When a school trip came up that they could not afford, OP told Iris they could figure out a way to raise money together. Iris walked off and said she would handle it herself. Weeks later, Iris came back with the full amount, but it turned out she had gone around telling people her family was so poor they couldn't afford food or clothes, which was not true at all. OP told her she had to give the money back and could not use it for the trip. Now Iris is upset, and OP is wondering if she was too harsh. If you're curious to know the full story, you can go watch the full video. And we've got some comments, and I do remember this story.
Me too. I also remember this.
Mazmar says, so the mother works 80 hours a week and they can't afford to send the kid on a field trip? Mother has to sell items in the house to go on a field trip? Their financial picture is obviously worse than the mother will admit. Why did the child not come to her for the money? Because she knows her mother would not back her up or help. I don't buy anything this mother is saying, and trying to blame the 13-year-old is nuts.
I kind of disagree with that. I think people have different financials going on, and a field trip is not a necessity.
Yeah.
Like a $300-$400 field trip is
Exactly.
not.
Yeah,
by
you don't
any
even know how much
means.
the field trip is.
Yeah,
That's
it could
the
have been
other
more
thing, like,
expensive.
yeah.
And you can have enough money to feed your kid and not have enough money to send her to, I don't know, I think they were going to like DC or something.
Yeah, that's what
Or maybe that was different, but I can't remember.
I
But,
think it would be DC.
you know,
Synth Kamada says, OP is the a-hole. She failed to parent her kid, already has the funds reward her determination with the trip, and slowly have the kid pay for it with community work, school fundraisers, and an apology from her kid as well. OP. As a parent, her and her husband failed to teach her this lesson of not begging. Assume your kid will learn harmlessly will become a bigger issue. But that didn't happen, and she strived to achieve a goal, and she was determined for, through misguidedness. OP was fine with the idea of her kid giving up rather than lighting a fire under her butt to find a healthy alternative of raising money. Dude, everyone's agreeing with, or these two people are disagreeing. JHZX7YT says she's the a-hole for letting her kid worry about money.
yes.
But we have one person on your side. Shelbert L89 says the school trip one, not the a-hole. Her mother gave options to raise money. Daughter decided instead that it was much better to lie, scheme, connive, and beg for money from her friends' parents and complete strangers. This girl needs to learn the hard way that it's not acceptable. All the money needs to be returned. What cannot be given back to people should be donated to charity. It wasn't just the mother who dropped the ball. The daughter did as well. She wanted to go on the trip. She knew money was tight. She was given options. She chose to lie.
From what I remember of my take on the original story, I would agree, like, she should have followed up with her, like, young daughter about this and not kind of just left her to her own devices, because she was pretty young. But I think I remember seeing improvement in the second update, so I feel like she had kind of done the work.
Yeah, I think, like, I remember it being, like, a
good
ending.
story in the
yeah,
end. Yeah.
I remember like there was a resolution.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, in that situation, like, yeah, it's just like, I don't think she failed as a parent. I didn't think
No.
she meant like, you know, she obviously didn't tell her kid to like go ask for money. You know, that's the only way we're going to get it, blah, blah. Her kid was like, well, that's one way to get it. And just went and got it. Like, she's a kid. She don't know. And then, you know, she comes back with it and it's like, nope, I meant an honest way to get it. I should have been more clear. So like, I think it was just miscommunication.
Yeah.
You know?
But you can see our full takes if you go watch that full video. But that's the end of those comments and the end of the episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.